cars on the hood on my NiSWC Racing.
The Lady in Black plays host to round number 7 of the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. Welcome to it, Darlington Raceway. Getting ready for 183 laps for the best on the iRacing service on the oval side. Tim Terry and Nim Cross here to call all the action for you. Nim, glad to be back alongside you in the booth. This is going to be an exciting race. Darlington always proves to be a challenge for some of these drivers.
This track may be the biggest challenge on the schedule. If the track is only 2 lanes wide the whole way around, and turns 1 and 2 are completely different than turns 3 and 4. Couple that with 183 laps, 42 cars on the track, and it's all a recipe for disaster. So it's going to be a good, exciting night here at Darlington.
And we do have some pros in the field here this evening as well. Some new drivers making their way up, and some drivers you'll possibly see in the 2013 NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. Full-time Adam Gilliland is making his first start, as is Dylan Duval, Jason Karlovich, Richard Doucette in the number 92 as well. Looking back here, I believe that might be the end of the pro drivers that I see down the list here. So there's at least 4 that I'm seeing on the qualifying that are getting ready to make their first ever start. So they're looking to make a big splash here tonight as well.
Yeah, the pro drivers qualified through quarter number 1 of our 2012 season, where they were the top 12 finishers, in the NASCAR iRacing.com Class A series, the top 12 finishers of points, and are now entered into the Pro Series that will come up this fall. We're currently in quarter number 2, and we have everybody else competing for 12 more spots, but the drivers who have already qualified for the Pro Series this fall are able to qualify into this series if no other DWC drivers show up for it.
And I know we did have some drivers from 2 weeks ago with the incident system that is in this series. If you accumulate so many points through incidents, then you're suspended for a week, you're benched for a week, and I know there's a couple of drivers that are on the bench this week, so that let those pro drivers in and have the opportunity to qualify for this event. As these drivers get down to the final couple of moments here, your point standings: Ray Alfala, Michael Conti, that's the show so far. Brian Schoenberg closing in as well on the top of the point standings, and then you have a big gap back to position number 4. And I talked to Steve Sheehan last week after his win, Nim, and he said that he gained so many positions with that win. Do not count out Steve Sheehan or anybody in this top 10, because if you have one bad week like Ray Alfala did and you have one good week like Steve Sheehan did, it's going to change the points picture in leaps and bounds.
Yeah, no doubt. If you have a good race, you can really jump up the standings here. It's very difficult to have a good race, and you have to be a great driver to do so. Ray currently seems to be the man on the move right now, or man on the mission, but he, like you said, he did have trouble last week, and as a lot of drivers did at Richmond, and that's why a number of them are sitting out this week. But you're right, one great race can move you up the standings, and one bad race can really drop you.
One driver that had a dismal season so far that's going to start in position number 6 here this evening is Josh Parker, and driver number 23. He's done some real racing since the last time we were here, Nim. He did some dare stock racing at Stafford Motor Speedway. I think that might have lit the fire a little bit underneath JP right now. He's going to start position number 6 this evening. Watch that 23 be fast.
Yeah, no doubt. And he was fast all last year. He's been struggling a lot this year, and hopefully he'll be able to get it together.
And we're going to go through the lineup here in just a few moments' time as these drivers get the final adjustments to their race cars in this session. Darlington Raceway, as you saw in the Hot Laps segment there, very tricky to get around for some of these drivers, and we have the best of the best on the iRacing service getting ready to go at it. In just about a minute time or so, we'll start going down the lineup for this evening's racing action. Nim, you've seen a lot of racing here at Darlington with this Class A car. Who do you possibly see? You mentioned Ray as being quick. Who else do you see here possibly as a dark horse to win this race tonight?
Well, no doubt. I think Ray's the man right now. Steve Sheehan is one of the smarter drivers on the service. Right now he's qualified pretty good. He'll be starting from the 7th position. Michael Conti's been strong all year long. Brad Davies, strong the last 2 series seasons, is up there in the 3rd spot, so he might be one to watch tonight.
As these drivers close down on the happy hour session, we want to get to every one of these 42 drivers that are in this field. So let's start going down this starting grid, shall we, for this evening's racing action. It's round number 7 at the Darlington Raceway, 183 laps, and starting that 183 laps in the pole is car number 2, the Pro Geek Consulting Chevrolet Impala of Ray Alfala, 27.873. And to the outside, it's Nick Ottinger, the 05, 27.956.
Starting in row 2 on the inside, as we just mentioned, the number 11 car of Brad Davies. Outside of him in car number 30 will be Robert Hall.
Starting on the inside of row number 3 is the 52 of Pat Baldwin, and to the outside, 23, Josh Parker.
On the inside of row number 4, starting in the 7th position, car number 6, Steve Sheehan. Outside of him in car number 5, Michael Conti.
Nationwide Insurance on board the 16 for Thomas Lewandowski. He starts in position number 9, and to the outside, 32, Paul Kashiba.
For number 6 will find Daniel Pope II on the inside in car number 18. Outside of him in car number 46 will be Carson McClellan.
Kevin King will start from position number 13 in the 29 to the outside, number 1, Marcus Lindsay.
For number 8 on the inside the show, Brian Schoenberg in car number 55. Outside of him, your Pro Series champion from last season is Alex Warren in car number 82.
As these cars begin to grid, Byron Daly will start in position number 17, and to the outside, 01, Tyler Hudson.
Starting position 19, Michael J. Johnson, and 20th, Adam Gilliland.
Justin Thompson will start the 98 from position 21, and 22nd, it's the 92 of Richard Doucette.
Starting in the 23rd spot, car number 60, Jason Carvillage. Outside of him, car number 33, Brian Blackford.
From Halifax, Nova Scotia, it's car number 42 of Dylan Duval, and to the outside, 03, Charles Cosper.
Car number 77 of Andrew Fash III goes from the 27th position. Outside of him in car number 45, John Prather.
47, Chris Overland starts in position number 29, to the outside, the 4 of Florian Goddard.
31st, Landon Harrison, car number 89. Outside of him, Jake Sturgis in car 41.
The French Connection starts in 33rd. That's Cyril Nussbaum in the 99. Chris Main starts in 34th.
Chad Coleman in car number 7 rolls off 35th. Right next to him on the outside, car number 15, Josh Connor.
Good run for the Poltergoose in P36. Patrick Fogel will start 37th. 38th, Brandon Bookberger.
39th will be Josh Berry in car number 72. Outside of him, car number 21, John Gorlinski.
Completing your field of drivers, Thomas Hazard and Vinny Sansone, 9 and 80. 42 cars begin to roll off on the front straightaway. We are 1 lap away from going racing here this evening at Darlington.
This track is so difficult. It's one racing groove, and the groove is up next to the wall. The entry to the corners is so critical. One mistake not only causes a crash for yourself and problems for yourself, but it could cause a crash for the whole train going back. So we have to be really careful about what goes on, and these guys are going to have to look way far ahead down the line.
Just to let you know as well, if your social media is up and running, you're on Twitter, well, we want you to join the conversation here this evening. Hashtag Darlington NiSWC. That's Darlington NiSWC, the best tweet that we can find this evening. Well, they're going to win $25 in iRacing dollars. So that is Darlington NiSWC. Get in your tweets now, as Brad Davies has a problem on the grid. He will have to start from pit road. Pace car is in. Ray Alfala and Nick Ottinger see the green flag, and we are underway for the first of 183 laps.
Yeah, Ray wanted to get a good start, so he left a little bit early, which is okay for him to do as soon as the pace car leaves the track. He's able to go. He gets about 5 or 6 car lengths out in front of everybody else.
See about the top 7 single file. Lewandowski pulls out ahead of the 32 of Paul Kashiba. 18 spins off corner number 2. That's Daniel Pope. He's going to get in the wall on the inside.
Daniel Pope sliding down the back straightaway. It looks like everybody's going to clear him and get by as they go down the back stretch. So Daniel Pope, single car spin off at the corner number 2.
And that will bring out caution number 1 of this evening. And Daniel Pope the second in car number 18. Looks like he just went for a lazy spin off corner number 2 and tried to keep it off the wall, Nim, but the back corner of that race car did come into contact with the safer barrier, so looks like he might have to come in and get that repaired. So caution number 1 will fly on lap number 1.
Yeah, he looks like he was just trying to get a little aggressive off of 2 there and tried to go a little bit low, play with that apron just a little bit, and it de-wedged the car, got the back end out, and he lost it. But he didn't hit the wall too hard. A little bit of damage on that rear end will have to come and get fixed, but he should be okay for the rest of the race.
So Ray Alfalla leads under caution on lap number 2. Nick Ottinger, Patrick Baldwin, Robert Hall, and Steve Sheehan complete your top 5 as we work caution number 1 here at Darlington. And of course, Ray Alfalla has that point lead by 2 over Mike Conti. Conti runs in position number 7. It's been an incredible season so far for Mike Conti, and we've covered it throughout this season so far, and very consistent for the young driver, and right now in position number 7. He's looking to make up a couple of positions and possibly get up there with Ray and possibly take the point lead back.
Yeah, no doubt. He's had a great season, especially for being a rookie. He did run a race or 2 last season, as some of the pro drivers that are making this race tonight have. But this is his first full season as he qualified through the Pro Series. And to be second in points with this quality of a field and the level of competition here just shows what type of driver he is and the dedication he has to driving and setups, and his whole team doing a great job so far.
I quickly mentioned coming to the green that Brad Davies had fallen out of the server. If you're new to sim racing, these drivers are all connecting to a server from the comfort of their own homes, and Brad's connection to the server wasn't strong enough to keep up to the server. It fell down, fell out, whatever you want to call it, and he rejoined the server in time to join the race, Nim, but he is currently 1 lap down. He did not start the race with the rest of the field. He had to start from pit road, so Davies 1 lap down right now. I'm not sure if he's going to get the I-dog on this caution flag or not, but if not, he might very well be in line for it on one of the next cautions, as Josh Connors is 1 lap down as well in car number 15.
One thing that you're going to see the drivers do tonight, Tim, as we saw in one of the videos that led up to the start of the race, is that the drivers in the new tire model, they want to keep their tires as cool as possible. So if they run a lot of laps and get the tires heated up, they're going to want to come in and get fresh tires, just because the newer tires and cooler tires are just so much faster than any of that have been run on. So right now they went 1 lap, about a half a lap, and a lot of them have decided to stay out. But if we get a good 10 laps in or so, you're going to see a lot of these guys pitting.
We also had another incident in the back here, and that's why Josh Connors is 1 lap down. The Ultra 4 Sim number 15 and the 7 of Chad Coleman get together, and Josh Berry runs into the back of the number 15 of Josh Connors to send him around. I don't know if that was the same time. It looks like the same time that Daniel Pope went around off corner number 2. So the 15 was shortened in the back end, and as you see it on your screen, the 15, they had some work to do on pit road, Nim. It looks like they've got it back at least to working condition, so we'll see what Josh Connors has as the caution flag has been brought back out. They were on the 1 to go lap. We will go at least 1 more lap before we go back to the green, but Connors will now have to rebound. He is currently 1 lap down after having to come on pit road for the damage repair.
Yeah, when your car gets damaged like that, the officials won't let you go if you have too much damage to the car. So there is an amount of damage, and the car has to be in a certain quality to go back out. So that's called required damage that needs to be fixed. After that, you can still may have damage to the car, but you can go out and race and try to fix it on future pit stops. So right now, the 15 car has all his required damage fixed. He may have some more damage that he may have to fix on maybe some future cautions here. I
believe the caution flag may have been extended for the I-Dog. We're waiting to see if that will be the reason for the extra lap, but we should see the lights off this time by Ray Alfalla and Nick Ottinger will line up side by side as the lights atop the first racing Ford Mustang pace car will go out this time, and we should be back to green next time.
As you look back from Ray Alfalla's car, Nick Ottinger will be starting to his outside, and you see in the blue car there Patrick Baldwin. He'll be starting right behind Ray Alfalla with Robert Hall up on the outside of the second row. Remember, we do have double file restarts here in the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship, just as you see in the NASCAR Sprint Cup division that races every weekend. Pretty much the same type of rules in both series.
So 6 laps will be completed when we see the green flag this time by Alfala Ottinger. Third place belongs to Patrick Baldwin. He's had a solid season so far, looking for a great run here at Darlington. Robert Hall and Steve Sheehan complete your top 5. Sheehan was the winner 2 weeks ago. Pace car in Alfala getting ready to see the green silk once again, as here he goes. Green flag flies. We're back underway.
Now you're going to see all these drivers try to get single file as quickly as possible. The entry to corner number 1 is very treacherous, and nobody wants to go through there side by side. And if you do, the outside car is really in a hairy shape. As you saw Rick Hall up there on the outside, he's trying to get down single file.
Josh Parker takes position number 4, and they're going to brawl for position number 5. Steve Sheehan takes the spot. Robert Hall on the outside. Here comes Mike Conti on the inside. Conti looking to pick up a spot. Great run by Hall in the middle of the corner, as he's going to take it back from Mike Conti and look over Sheehan.
As we saw in Steve Sheehan's video earlier before the race, up in the high groove of corner number 3 and 4 seems to be faster. There seems to be more grip up there than down lower in the corner, and we saw Robert Hall put that to use going around turn 3 and 4 the last time.
Looks like Josh Parker has been black flagged. I would assume, Mim, that is probably for a restart violation. We'll have to go back and maybe take a look at that restart, but Josh Parker has been black flagged by the iRacing officials. Tough break for him. He was running 4th, and we mentioned it off the top of the show. It just seems like his season continues to get a little bit rougher.
Yeah, hopefully he can try to figure out what's going on, and that team can get it together so they can make a run, because we both know that he's pretty quick.
And Josh Parker will peel off to take that black flag from the officials, and he will surrender position number 4 to Steve Sheehan in the Spy Optic Chevrolet Impala. Ray Alfala continues to lead Nick Ottinger, Patrick Baldwin, Steve Sheehan, and Robert Hall as we work single file around the Darlington Raceway for at least about your top 20 or so, as these guys want to log some laps here. It's a long race, 183 laps.
Yeah, you see those guys right up against the wall, especially around corner number 3. They do drop down coming out of corner number 4 so they can get a run down this pretty long straightaway. It's a very quick entry, about 180 miles an hour into corner number 1 there. And it's up to the wall, and you want to keep your car up against the wall and then drop down corner number 2 to get a good run off down the back straightaway.
21 cars moving up through the field. He started at the back of the pack in position number 40. That's John Gorlinski, and right now up to position number 22. 11 laps in. You can do the math. He's picking off positions fairly quickly.
Yeah, John's a very aggressive driver, as we saw last week at Richmond. Picked up another number of spots late in the race there and was in contention pretty much all race long. So he had a bad qualifying run. Not sure what happened in qualifying there, but he's definitely moving up.
And he picks up one more spot on Chris Oberlin to move him up to position number 21. So Gorlinski coming to the front of this field. And we keep talking about Darlington stripes. I think I might have just saw one out of the corner of my eye on the one of Marcus Lindsay. Lindsay up high. Here comes Alex Warren. Warren going to go to the inside, trying to pick up one.
Marcus Lindsay trying to do a good job here today. He's right out of the relegation. He's 26th in points right now. You got to be in the top 25 to be guaranteed in this series next year. So Lindsay looking to have a good race tonight.
And with that bubble being so close back there, you really can't afford to have one bad race. Oh, 81, Adam Gilliland down to the apron. I'm not sure if he hit the wall or just got loose there, but it was close for the 81 of Adam Gilliland. He's still on the apron.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. He got loose. He lost control a little bit. He saved it down the apron, but he's doing a good job of not getting in anybody's way and trying to safely move back up onto the track.
So he will move back up, but he will be back in P30-something or so after being up in the top 15. Battle for second starting to heat up. It's the 05 of Ottinger. 52 of Baldwin. Baldwin might have smacked the wall there in the middle of the corner as he closes in on the 05.
Yeah, a little bit of damage on the right side of that car, but everybody's going to have a Darlington stripe by the end of this race, and that's when they get up in the wall a little bit. Since you run up so close to the wall, it's so easy to scrape it, and most every driver will do so by the end of the day.
You ride on the roof of Patrick Baldwin as you go into corner number 3 as he's going to get right up towards that wall, come back down a little bit and try to reel in the 05. Ottinger looked like he had a better lap that time as the 05 pulls away by a couple car lengths.
Yeah, the difference is about 0.2 of a second right now between Ottinger and Baldwin. It's about a half a second up to the first place car of Ray Alcala.
As Ottinger goes down a little bit on the straightaway, the 52 of Baldwin continues to close in. They have about a second between themselves and Steve Sheehan, who runs in position number 4 right now, as we work single file at this point, trying to log those laps. It looks like there's one more that scraped the wall again.
Yeah, it looks like car number 32, Paul Kashiba, has got her up into the fence there a little bit. Hopefully there's not too much damage as that Nick Ottinger gets up in the wall, and that allows the 52 of Patrick Baldwin to get by him down the back straightaway.
Patrick Baldwin moves to position number 2. Ottinger kicked back to position number 3. And I just saw to the corner of my eye again, the 21 of John Gorlinski. Maybe we can get back there in the box. He's up to position number 17, but he is in traffic with the 1 and the 39 as there's action all over this racetrack.
Yeah, the 45 car of John Prather is having some problems. He's making a pit stop right now. Not sure if he damaged his car so much hitting the wall there that he's got to make some pit stops, but he's in the pits and getting some repairs done.
Looking just behind John Gorlinski, you see Marcus Lindsay. You see the 82 of Alex Warren. Back behind him, Jason Karlovich making his first start in the 60, as is Dylan Duval in 42, and Brian Blackford in the 33 as they continue the battle for positions just inside the top 20.
Yeah, this is where if anything goes wrong, it's hard to miss it as we ride on the roof of Jason Karlovich here, and he's going down the back straightaway. We see Alex going on the inside of Marcus Lindsay down in corner number 3.
And Jason's got a front row seat to this. It's the 1 and the 82 go side by side. And it looks like the 82 will fall back. Here comes Brian Blackford just behind him, 42 with Dylan Duval. They nearly make a little bit of contact swapping that position, but Blackford in the Simplex Media Solutions Chevrolet Impala moves up 1.
Yeah, Blackford gives the rookie a little rub as he goes by there. And we got a little bit of 60 car up against the fence a little bit, but he saves it coming off corner number 2.
Karlovich going to lose at least 1. He might lose 2 here as he battles side by side with Dylan Duval. And it looks like he is going to fall back behind the 42. You mentioned that first quarter, Nim, for the Class A Series to get up into this Pro Series, to get into the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. Karlovich in that quarter was P2 among thousands of racers that race that Class A car. So Karlovich, he's the real deal. I think he might be somebody to watch next season and, of course, throughout the Pro Series.
There's no doubt as we're in the in-car here, there's no doubt that anybody who we call a pro driver is a quality driver because they have made it through, just like all these drivers have, through competitions of thousands of drivers. And the fact that they are ready for the Pro Series coming up this fall means that they've done a really good job.
42 going to scrape the wall a little bit there as he and Chris Main go at it for position. Chris Main moves up a couple of spots. Just in front of them, Michael J. Johnson moving up a spot. Paul Kashiba falling back at least 1. And I say at least 1 because it looked like Alex Warren was going to shove it in there, but it looks like he's not going to do so as the 32 goes back after Michael J. Johnson.
Brian Blackford gets around Marcus Lindsay going into corner number 3 that time, so he'll pick up a spot.
And Blackford moving up here in the laps of this run right now up to position number 17. So watch for Brian Blackford to possibly be a factor before the end of this race. Ray Alcala continues to lead over Patrick Baldwin. That gap is nearly a second.
And we talk about, we got trouble. Paul Kashiba's up in the wall in corner number 4.
We stay green flag racing as the 32 of Paul Kashiba saves that race car. But he's had a tough run so far in that number 32, Justin Brooks Designs Chevrolet Impala. He's going to fall back a bunch of positions. He's going to be back likely around 24th place.
Looks like Kevin King moves up into the 8th position right now as we look at your leader, Ray Alcala, who has a 1.6 second lead over second place car of Patrick Baldwin. Tim, I was getting ready to say before Paul had his problem there, this track we talk about as being so tough, and it's only one lane, and It's very difficult to drive. It's a favorite among most of these drivers, and they voted it into the series schedule this year. The track is so much fun to drive just because it's so difficult, which is what makes it so much fun.
And speaking about making it fun, Ray Alfalo right now is making it fun for himself. He's tacked on another 1/10 of a second to his lead. That time by, he tacked on 2/10 the lap before. Alfalo right now, Nim, in a league of his own at 29 O's and 29 1s right now for lap times. The Pro Geek Consulting Chevrolet is a rocket ship.
Yeah, he's been he had a slow start this season, and he had some bad luck last week too. But he's been very, very fast and very steady, and he is our reigning champion, and he's going to be tough to beat this year.
See one car there coming off at the pit road. Not sure who that is. That might be the 45 of John Prather. Indeed, it is Prather coming off at pit road right now. 9 laps down. 42 car being told he's in the wall again.
Yeah, he scraped it just a little bit. Paul Kashiba seems to be in more trouble though.
Kashiba coming back out on the racetrack in the middle of traffic. Brandon Bookberger going to make the pass on him. Vinny Sansone is next. Tough break for the 32 of Paul Kashiba, as he might have something wrong with that race car.
Yeah, he's either got something bent in the rear end of the car, or he's got the rear tires overheated. He got real loose coming off corner number 2 last time, lost it, took him the whole length of the backstretch, and now he gets in the wall up in corner number 1 again. And I believe he's got something bent on that car, which is what his struggles are all about right now.
Watching around the 42 car of Dylan Duval right now, as the 42 car runs with the 03 of Charles Cosper for position.
Yeah, those guys get sorted out right now. Thomas Hazard just ahead of the 42 car, and the 03 of Charles Cosper right behind them. They all have everything sorted out, and that's what these guys are trying to do right now. They're just trying to find a safe spot on the track.
Daniel Pope, the second in the 18, has just hammered the wall, and I saw that at the corner of my eye, Nim. I'm not sure if he lost it at a corner number 2, but I saw that car sailing towards the outside wall. It just looked like he may have lost it off corner number 2 and tried to save it and didn't succeed.
Well, we saw that earlier, and he had trouble coming off corner number 2 just on the first lap of the race, and this time he gets loose off of the corner again, overcorrects, gets up into the wall, and causes our second caution of the evening.
So second caution of the evening is out on lap number 30. Ray Alfala is your leader. Patrick Baldwin in second. Steve Sheehan, Robert Hall complete your top 5. Nick Ottinger's in there in position number 3 as well. And it was nearly 2 seconds between your top 2. Ray Alfala was flying, but now what was that 2-second lead is going to be now down to about a bumper.
Yeah, and everybody behind Ray, plus Ray himself, will have the option to go into the pit stop and make adjustments to the car on these pit stops. They'll be able to change tire pressures, some wedge, some different things that they want to do on the pit stop that will hopefully make their cars better, as we see on the number 18 car. He's got a lot of damage to that car now, as the back end seems a bit askew, and he'll have a long set of repairs to make on that car.
Here come the leaders on pit road. Ray Alfala is going to lead them down. I believe we have one car staying out on the racetrack, and that is the lap down car of Brad Davies. So Alfala leads them onto pit road. We'll see if he can win the race off pit road and possibly maintain that lead.
You see Alfala and Ottinger come to their pit stalls. Ray Alfala just behind them. Patrick Baldwin about 5 spaces back. Right side tires on all the cars going up. They'll probably go for all 4 tires. Left sides on all the cars go up. See who gets off the... Patrick Baldwin's down in the way first, but will he beat Alfala out? He'll beat Ottinger, and he may have gotten Alfala. We'll have to see how it goes.
It looks like Patrick Baldwin may have won this race off pit road. We will sort everything out in just a few moments' time. We're going to step away, grab the popcorn, grab some drinks. You're going to want to see the next 150 laps of this race. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Here comes Jeremy out. Is Richard trying to grab his first win. As a true NASCAR champion is Richard.
Welcome back to the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship from the Darlington Raceway. Pace car lights are off, and next time by we go back to green flag racing. Patrick Baldwin is your leader, Ray Alfala in second, Nick Ottinger, Steve Sheehan, Robert Hall top 5. Brad Davies received the I-Dog. He is back on the lead lap, and he will rejoin the field in position number 37.
Coming around to the restart, the pace car is off. Patrick Baldwin will lead him off of the corner this time. Ray Alfala to his outside. We'll see how Ray handles starting second here.
Green flag flies. Great start for Pat Baldwin. Ray Alfala to the outside. Going to fall in line single file. It's going to be Sheehan and Ottinger side by side, as Sheehan going to take the position over Ottinger.
Top 20 cars or so, single file up, trying to get sorted out before they start exchanging position here.
77 of Andrew Fayash III is around. As we are still green, he falls back out to the racetrack, and that will bring us a caution flag. So Andrew Fayash III spins out, and we'll draw the caution flag.
Yeah, it looks like he got down there on the apron just a little bit, spun the car around, and it looks like he got away with barely any contact to the car. So he got pretty lucky there, and looks like he got away with everything.
And you look at the first half of that replay, Nim, it looked like he almost had it saved for a little bit, and then just might have got it the wrong way, and that car got away from him. And that will bring out the third caution of the evening. And Andrew Fayash III will have to restart way back in the pack. I believe Josh Parker is the first driver that is one lap down. And if that's the case, JP will be receiving the lucky dog, and he'll be back on the lead lap.
Yeah, those cold tires, you gotta be real careful, especially coming off of corner number 2. Looks like cold and old tires you have to be real careful with off of corner number 2. It's so hard to get off of 2. Your entry, you have to really set your car up way back in the corner to get off of corner number 2 correctly. And if you don't, it can cost you a lot of speed there. And if you touch the apron or you do anything wrong there, as we see tonight, it's definitely the trouble spot on the track.
A lot of drivers in the back of the pack taking this opportunity to come down onto pit road, including the 7 of Chad Coleman, the 99 of Cyril Nussbaum, Jake Sturgis, Florian Goddard, Andrew Fayash III, Justin Thompson, Gilliland Johnson, among others, coming onto pit road. And indeed, Josh Parker will receive the I-Dog. He will get one lap back, and he will be scored in position number 37.
There have been 2 previous races run here in the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship here at Darlington, and previous winners were in 2010, where Josh Berry, and taking the 2011 Darlington race was Brad Wright. Both of those guys on the same team. They raced for Main Performance Racing, and so we'll see if a Main Performance driver can pick up the win here today. But right now, they're pretty far back right now, but it's still a long way to go. And so we'll see if they can pick it up.
Well, it won't be Brad Wright, because Brad Wright's not in the field here this evening. He was one of those drivers that accumulated those incident points, and he is not racing this evening. And Josh Berry, as we mentioned, involved in the first caution flag this evening. He's running in position number 30, but still very early in this race. And if you're going to pick a driver to rebound, I'd put my money on that number 72 of Josh Berry. Now, Ian Bushing was whispering in my ear prior to us coming back from break, saying if there's somebody out there that wants to try iRacing, that hasn't tried iRacing, of course we got the fabulous offer. You can get 3 months for the price of one, but I believe we have some 3-month vouchers to give away as well. If you're on Twitter, tweet PSRTV or at PSRTV, say you want to try out iRacing, and you have to be a new member. These are for new members only, so make sure you're out there, you want to try iRacing. It's a great way to get involved in it. At PSRTV, why don't you use the hashtag Darlington NISWC as well, and you could very well be either taking home a 3-month subscription for new subscribers, or if you're a subscriber already to iRacing, Darlington NISWC, you hashtag that. The best tweet is going to win $25 in iRacing credit.
Yeah, and if you want to start up here at iRacing, you can start racing in NASCAR series shortly after you join up. You have to go through a couple rookie series, a street stock series, and legend series and such. But you can race in NASCAR late models and other different NASCAR series. Right now, this week, the NASCAR iRacing Late Model Series is at Toyota Speedway at Irwindale. The NASCAR National Series, which is a fixed setup series, is at Iowa Speedway this week. The NASCAR iRacing SK Modified Series at Richmond International Raceway. The NASCAR iRacing Class C Series, which is the Silverado Truck Series, is at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And also in the C License Series, the fixed setup series is at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The Tour Modified Series is at Lanier this week. The NASCAR iRacing.com B Series, which utilizes the nationwide Impala car, is at Iowa Speedway this week. And the NASCAR iRacing.com A Series, the Sprint Cup Impala car, is racing this week at Twin Ring Motegi in Japan. So we'll have to fly those cars back over here to race in Charlotte next week here, Tim.
And that is the road to pro as the pace car is in. Here we go. The 52 of Patrick Baldwin going to lead the field to the green flag. Ray Alfalo to the outside, and here we come. Green flag flies for the 52 of Patrick Baldwin, and here comes Sheehan. Sheehan to the inside of the champ, Ray Alfalo for second.
Baldwin gets a good jump, and we've got a little bit of stack up back through the pack there, and that's what's so difficult here at Darlington, especially on restarts in corner number 1. Your double file, everybody wants to get single file, and we do. Kevin King gets loose off of corner number 2 right there, but it looks like everybody's single file so far.
Yeah, King's going to lose a couple of positions. Here comes Gorlinski to the outside. Brian Schoenberg is there as well in the 55. Almost a little bit of contact there. Not a whole lot of racing room, especially when you're side by side coming off the corner. 38 of Chris Main going to pick up a spot over Byron Daly. Daly going to move back one in the 91.
Yeah, and you see as one car lifts going into corner number 1 there, it bunches everybody up on the train behind, but everybody was able to get through okay. But this train is so long, anything that happens up front can be affected 30 cars back.
38 was looking at the number 29 for that position. That is position number 12 as we work single file now on lap number 41 into 42 of 183. And it seems like those first couple of moments on that restart nim are hectic. Then everybody else gets single file and we start to log some laps and we can breathe a little bit.
Yeah, you definitely. You can pick up so many spots here early on, but it's so dangerous to do. So a lot of the drivers, if they can pick up a spot, they'll try to do it right away, and they will try to take advantage of that. But for the most part, everybody wants to get single file as quick as possible.
I believe the 21 of John Gorlinski is encountering those connection issues that we had before with the number 11 of Brad Davies. So John Gorlinski, after starting 40th coming up through the field, he's going to have to rally again.
On top of the Chris Main car as we go down in corner number 3. He's fighting with Kevin King right now as they come off corner number 4. Main had to back out of it, and he retains that 12th spot.
So Thomas Hazard has had his issues this evening as well. He's a couple of laps down already in this event. 3 laps down in the main performance PC, number 9. Out in front of the field, it looked like the 2 and the 6 were about to get busy as Ray Alfalo chases Steve Sheehan for P2.
Yeah, but Alfalo right now back at Sheehan. Sheehan and Alfalo, they'll take care of each other the whole race. They're not going to do anything that's going to be dangerous to each other. And right now they're catching the leader right up Patrick Baldwin, car number 52. The yellow flag is out.
Smoke down the front straightaway, and I believe that's Justin Thompson in the number 98 as he is pointed the wrong way, as is the 80 of Vinny Sansone, and the 81 of Adam Gilliland is involved in this one. And I believe it was the 80 of Vinny Sansone who gets up into the wall just in front of Brad Davies, and the 81 of Adam Gilliland. Gilliland and the 98 both get a piece of it.
Yeah, it looks like Gilliland's day is going to be done as he has a lot of front-end damage on that car. But for some reason, the 80 car slowed as he came off corner number 4 right there. Maybe he got a little bit loose. Looks like he did. And the 11 car of Brad Davies got into him, which sent him around. And the 81 car and the 98 car had nowhere to go.
So that will bring out the caution flag once again. John Gorlinski has reconnected to the server, but he is at least 4 laps down. He is going to need a little bit of luck in order to get back on the lead lap, and possibly a couple of cautions as well for car number 21. Really tough break for Gorlinski. And I see that Josh Parker is now 2 laps down again, as well as it looks like a couple of leaders are going to fake. The 05 of Nick Ottinger is going to stay out on the racetrack, as it looks like most of your leaders are going to stay north of the pit opening. The first one coming down is Brian Blackford in P14.
Yeah, as the drivers explained, once you get heat in the tires, they do lose a bit of time. So getting the new tires will allow you to be faster for a while, but as soon as they get heated up, they're going to be pretty much the same as these guys have out there now. So, it will be an advantage for a few laps. So the question is how much position are you going to lose by pitting? And if Blackford is the only one that pits, which he is losing a lot of positions right now, he may not have been the greatest decision to do.
Looks like Josh Connors will receive the I-Dog on this caution flag. That is the Ultra 4 Sims Tim's Corner Motorsports Chevrolet Impala. The driver they named the Poltergoose will get back on the lead lap, and he will be in position number 35.
Brad Davies just makes his way out of pit road. Their crew's been working on some front end damage to that car, but they seem to have it fixed, and they're going to be back out in the track. Brad had connection issues earlier, moved his way up into the top 20, but now with that pit stop, he'll fall back.
So your top 10, a couple of new drivers up in the top 10. Patrick Baldwin leads Steve Sheehan, Ray Alfala, Nick Ottinger, and Robert Hall, top 5. Michael Conti, Carson McClellan moves up to 7th. 8th is Thomas Lewandowski. 9th, Tyler Hudson. And Brian Schoenberg completes your top 10. Schoenberg, if he can gain a few positions here, Nim, he's going to make himself a factor for this championship before it is over with. He's only 8 points out right now.
Yeah, Schoenberg's been having a good run this season. Been good, consistent. We all know what kind of character he is, and he loves his racing, and he enjoys the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship, and he's been doing a good job. 3rd place in points right now. He does, if he wants to challenge for it, though, he's got to get up there and race with Ray and finish in front of him every now and then, but which is not an easy task to do.
Now you got some guys creeping up towards that top 10 just outside that are looking at possibly having a good run here this evening. Byron Daly, 91, runs P13 right now. Jason Karlovich runs in position number 14. I believe Karlovich is the top running Pro Series driver in this race, in position number 14 right now. Brian Blackford, of course, in 15th. Looking down through the list, Dylan Duval, position number 20. Charles Cosper, great run in 21st so far, trying to work his way up through the front of the field. Chad Coleman has had an impressive season so far. Had a top 5 earlier in this season. He's in the top 25 in points. He's running P26 right now, and he's still got a long way to go. But you look at that number 7 of Chad Coleman, he could be one of the surprises in this season so far.
Yeah, Chad's been doing a great job, and there's a lot of different races that go inside this series. Obviously you have the race to be first and to be the champion, like Ray Alfala is. There's also the race to be in the top 12, which the top 12 spots are the paid positions in this series by the end of the series. Then there's the race to be in the top 25 in points, so you can be in this series again next year. And then those drivers outside the top 25 are going to have to requalify through the Pro Series, which is will be happening in the 4th quarter of this year. So in the fall, though, if you don't be in the top 25, you're going to have to requalify, which is not an easy task to do.
Josh Parker will start at the end of the longest line. We'll try to get with officials to find out why he's starting at the end of the longest line. Pace car is in. Baldwin puts it down. Green flag flies. Great start for Patrick Baldwin. Now Ray Alfala back after Steve Sheehan, like Sheehan was on the last restart. Sheehan will have nothing of it. Sheehan to second.
Michael Conte had a little bit of a slow start there. He's stuck up on the outside as the 46 car of Carson McClellan gets by.
Single file racing throughout about your top 5 as these guys jockey for position. 6 car flirts with that wall in the corner. Hudson now to the inside with Kevin King to the outside.
Yeah, the guys jockeying for position, trying to get sorted out, but a number of drivers trying to make up some positions as they can on this restart. Going down the corner number 1 side by side for a number of drivers there. Everybody makes it through.
Lap 51 being worked on the board as the 01 clears 29. Now 29 back to the inside of the 01, side by side for position. Great move by Kevin King. Does he have enough room? No, he doesn't. He's going to fall back behind the 01 of Tyler Hudson.
Yeah, he tried to stick it in there, but the grip up there on the top is seeming to be a lot better than down low. As King slid up the track, the 01 of Tyler Hudson, he had the grip up top and was able to use that to gain the position.
You look back from the number 29 to Thomas Lewandowski in the 16. Byron Daly in the 91 is back there, as is the 38 Chris Main. Then a gaggle of cars back here around Patrick Fogel, 51, 32, and 33. As here goes the 32 on the inside of the 33. 55 going to follow him through as well.
Yeah, 33 car tried to make a move up in the top there, but there just wasn't enough room, and he had to back out, lost a lot of momentum, and that allowed the 3 cars to get by him.
42 back here was a little bit loose as he sees the battle in front of him. 47 and 60 are going at it for position, with Overland to the outside, Karlovich to the inside as he goes up into the 42 of Dylan Duval. Nice save by everybody there.
Karlovich, this is his first NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship race, and he is out there putting the fender to the boys and trying to make sure that they all know who he is.
Fantastic racing going on here mid-pack as Duval runs 18th, Karlovich 19th, Marcus Lindsay completes your top 20 right now, as these guys are not wasting any time. As the top drivers in front of this field, Steve Sheehan closes in on Pat Baldwin for the lead.
Sheehan's right there on Baldwin's tail by about 2 car lengths, then it's about 3 or 4 car lengths back to Ray Alfala as we're on the roof now, watching Patrick Baldwin as we go down the front straightaway here, looking to the inside, but can't make it happen this time.
Steve Sheehan was your winner 2 weeks ago. He's looking to go back-to-back, and Sheehan was looking to the inside there at Patrick Baldwin. Couldn't get the move done that time. The Spy Optic Chevrolet Impala looking to take the lead away.
As you see, Sheehan really gains a lot of momentum going into the corner. He actually had to hit the brakes so he didn't run in the back of Baldwin there. That lost him some time, but right now Sheehan a lot faster than Baldwin, and he wants to get by.
It's going to close in Ray Alfala as Baldwin looks like he might be holding up. Steve Sheehan into the wall, goes to number 6 in corner number 3, and it looks like he's going to get a little bit of momentum off that corner, but Steve Sheehan, it looks like he's being held up a little bit because it's starting to bottleneck the guys behind him.
Yeah, Sheehan wants to get by as you look back in the rear bumper too. Sheehan has right up against the wall there, drop down coming out of corner number 2 down the back straightaway. Now Sheehan has momentum, but he gets on the wall a little bit, which ruins his momentum and not able to make a run this time.
It closes in Ray Alfala, it closes in Nick Ottinger, and Robert Hall is coming into the picture as well. In the number 30, Patrick Baldwin is your leader, but Steve Sheehan is breathing down his neck, and behind them a whole lot of fast drivers there.
It looks like Paul Kashiva's having trouble in the back again. He may have saved it, no caution.
6 car looking to take away the advantage that Patrick Baldwin has. The 2 of Ray Alfala closes in as well. Top 3 battling for the lead position. Sheehan in the wall again.
Yeah, he goes up and scrapes the wall a little bit. It's not doing too much damage. Now Ray Alfala gets a run, looks down to the inside, probably not going to have position. He moves back up high and enters the corner in 3rd place.
Top 5, you can throw a blanket over them as Robert Hall closes in on Nick Ottinger for position number 4. Down the straightaway, the 6 and the 2 chasing the 52. You ride on board with the Spy Optic Chevrolet Impala of Steve Sheehan.
Looking ahead at Patrick Baldwin there, Sheehan goes down to the inside. He's not really trying to get air to the nose of the car or anything like that. When you're driving this track, it's just a natural tendency when you come off the corner to get away from that wall just a little bit and kind of move down to the inside. It also helps you see the corner coming up and gives you a better visual as Ray Alfala now gets a run down on Sheehan to the inside.
Oh, great run by Ray Alfala to the inside. He sweeps in the Pro Geek Consulting Chevrolet Impala. It's going to be side by side. Sheehan, great run, middle of the corner, going to kibosh that move from Ray Alfala. Now here comes Ottinger. Ottinger in turn on the 2 of Ray Alfala, side by side for position number 3. Ottinger to the spot.
Yeah, that's what this track is famous for. If you make a move and can't make it happen, you use up all your momentum and lose a bunch of momentum, and that lets the car behind you get a great run on you. So you really got to time your moves, and you really got to be careful that if you don't make the move, you know, you're going to lose all that momentum, and what's the car behind you going to do? So you got to be aware of that.
30 car of Robert Hall in 5th, but look who's closing in. Carson McClellan and Mike Conti closing in as well. Top 7 all within striking distance of each other. Top 2 have a little bit of breathing room between them and 3rd place now.
Yeah, as you go down the back straightaway there again, Sheehan migrates down to the inside just a little bit, but looks like Ottinger's reeling him in as they get down as Ottinger gets to the fence just a little bit there.
2 car, Ray Alfalo now looking over the 05 of Ottinger for position as Robert Hall falls back a little bit off this battle for position at number 3 as Steve Sheehan continues to hunt the 52 of Pat Baldwin for the lead as well. Down the back straightaway we go. They are going to encounter lap traffic in a couple of laps. Looks like the 15 is about to go 1 lap down.
Ray Alfalo right there on the back end of Nick Ottinger as they went in corner number 3 right down. Alfalo was right on his bumper. And then to get on the front straightaway into corner number 3, Alfalo not going to be able to make a move, but he's right there.
52 and 6 will come up on the number 15 of Josh Connors as fantastic racing all around this racetrack. The 05 and 2 almost went at it as well there.
Looks like caution on the track as Brian Blackford's in trouble on the front straightaway. Looks like Alex Warren and Brian Blackford got into it going down the front straightaway a little bit. Blackford got up into the fence and came down into Alex Warren a little bit there, and heavy damage to Brian Blackford's car. Alex Warren spun going up in corner number 1, trying to save it.
Landon Harrison may have hit the wall as well as he was trying to avoid the 82 of Alex Warren going into corner number 1 as he was spinning. So there's at least 3 cars involved, or at least some sort of damage on 3 cars due to that incident. As the caution flag flies, Patrick Baldwin look like he may be coming to pit road here, methinks. Yeah, Baldwin going to come on to pit road, going to lead the field on. Steve Sheehan, Nick Ottinger going to follow him through.
Everybody again will take 4 tires and fuel. If anybody stays out, they'll probably just do it for the maybe pick up a late lap lead here under caution, but they'll probably make a pit stop before the caution ends. If they know that they're going to be in trouble if they stay out on old tires.
Patrick Baldwin going to come to the attention of his crew, and it looks like it is going to be at least right side tires. And Nim, as we mentioned off the top, it should be a 4 tire change here for most of these drivers on pit road, and indeed the butt kicker number 52 going to take 4 tires. Does he win the race off pit road? He was quick on pit road last time, and he's going to show it again. 52 wins the race off pit road.
Yeah, doing a great job of pit stops here this time. Steve Sheehan, Nick Ottinger, everybody staying the same pretty much on this pit stop, but Patrick Baldwin really doing a good job on his pit stops.
Sheehan looks like he's going to come off second. Ottinger, Alfalo, Robert Hall, McClellan, Kevin King going to pick up a couple of spots. Daly, Hudson, and Lewandowski. Looks like it's going to be your top 10 off pit road. Mike Conti going to be the big loser off pit road here, and he's going to fall to likely outside the top 10 here. I believe he's going to be 11th.
Yeah, he was running right up there in about 6th or 7th position, so he will drop back, and that's tough on this track.
So your leader is Patrick Baldwin in the number 52 car. As it looks like there's a bunch of lap down cars or tail end of the lead lap cars possibly ahead of your leader, Justin Thompson, Cyril Nussbaum, Thomas Hazard, John Gorlinski between the leader and the pace car right now. Gorlinski is 4 laps down, Hazard is 2 laps down, Nussbaum 1 back, Thompson 5 laps down, and then Baldwin is your leader. So they're looking to get a lap back and stay on those laps that I just mentioned, as we will be going green here in a couple of laps time. I believe the iDog might be, yes, Josh Parker will get the iDog, and he will be back, I believe, 1 lap down now for the 23.
Yeah, as you see, a lot of these drivers in front of the leader right now, if they stay out with 1 to go, they'll get what's called a wave around, and they'll be able to pick up a lap. The problem with doing that is you don't get the pit, and you don't get fresh tires. But if you can pick up a quick caution soon after this restart, then they will get a lap back. So it's their chance on getting a lap back, but they will be at a disadvantage by not having fuel and new tires on the car.
Lights are out. Parker will come by and he'll pick up his lap. He'll be 1 lap down, and it looks like the caution has been extended, so we will go at least 1 more lap under the caution flag. Looking at Steve Sheehan right now in the number 6, I was talking to him last week, Nim, on my show, Tim's Corner Unplugged, but Steve was telling me he explains himself as a streaky driver. He goes on, he'll win a couple of races, he'll have those good finishes, and then he'll fall off the face of the earth, so to speak, and have a couple of bad finishes. He told me if he can stop being the streaky driver, quote-unquote, that he has been the last couple of seasons, he thinks he can contend for this championship. He gained a bunch of positions 2 weeks ago with that win at Richmond, and looking at it right now, between himself and 6th place, there's only 15 points there. Looking up to position number 4, there's only 21 points there. So Sheehan can gain a whole lot here. If not a win, a top 5 finish, Sheehan could easily get himself quite possibly in the top 5 with a good run here.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Sheehan's definitely a talented driver, and he's got the skills and he's got the team to definitely contend. And, and you talked about being 50-some points back in the top 5. He's 55 points or so out of the lead. So, it's possible. It's going to be a task to get up there with Ray, but if anybody can do it, Sheehan's got the skills to do so.
So Josh Parker is the eye-dog on this caution flag, and that's why we're extended 1 lap to give Parker back one of those laps, I do believe, as Patrick Baldwin and Steve Sheehan, this time by, should receive the 1 to go from the officials, and we should be back to green in just a few laps' time. We will be back with 70 laps completed. So we're closing in on that 100 lap to go mark. Baldwin, Sheehan, Ottinger, Alfala, and Robert Hall are your top 5.
Top 10 is Carson McClellan in 6th, Kevin King 7th, Byron Daly 8th position. Byron's had a lot of good runs this season, but a number of wrecks that have not allowed him to get those finishes to where he's wanted. Tyler Hudson 9th, and Michael Conte back in the 10th position.
Going to move Thomas Lewandowski back to position number 11, Chris Overland, position number 12, Chris Main in 13th, 14th, Brian Schoenberg, and 15th, Dylan Duvall. Just a reminder that if you have not got your tweet in yet, Darlington NiSWC, hashtag that, you could win $25 in iRacing gift card.
Also, if you want a 3-month membership, there's a few of those to give away. If you can also go to iRacing.com and sign up to buy 1 month and get 2 free. If you're not able to get one of those free memberships, go to www.iracing.com, sign up for a new membership, buy 1 month and get 2 more for free. So for the price of 1 month, you get 2 for free.
So the pace car lights are off next time by. Here we go. Check that. We're going green right here. Patrick Baldwin going to lead the field to the green. Steve Sheehan in second. Ottinger, Alfala, Hall. Here we go. Green flag flies.
Patrick Baldwin gets a good restart. Nick Ottinger doesn't get such a good restart. That'll allow Ray Alfala to get up there into the 3rd spot as they go down corner number 1. Everybody double file trying to get sorted out. It's so hard to go through that corner side by side.
Sheehan looking for a mistake out of the 52. He may have found it in corner number 2. Here comes the 6 down low. We have a big wreck. Caution flag will fly.
Looks like Patrick Lindsay might be involved there. 77 of Andrew Fast.
60 Karlovich is trying to get going as well on the banking, so it looks like he may have been involved in this one as well, and I believe it started right up around that number 60 of Jason Karlovich. The 42 of Dylan Duval was in front of him. 60, he just loses control of that car and him, and everybody jacks up behind him.
Yeah, he got lost. He had to check up for some issues in front of him, you know, what you can do with all these cars there. But he jacked up, or he had to slow down, and everybody's just nose to tail coming off that corner. And when he had his problems, everybody tried to, you know, get slowed up, but they all got into each other, and that sent a bunch of cars spinning down the back straightaway.
Patrick Baldwin continues to lead. Steve Sheehan, Ray Alfala, Nick Ottinger, and Carson McClellan, your top 5. On that restart, though, Nim, it looked like Steve Sheehan had a run at Patrick Baldwin, just couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, couldn't pull it off in time, though. You know, he did. He had a great start, and he had a great run down the back straightaway. He's definitely faster, I believe, than Patrick is right now. Patrick doing a great job in the pits, got him that lead, and they all got to make their way around. But right now, Sheehan and Alfala seem to be the class of the field. They just got to get up and get around Baldwin.
So we work lap number 73 of 183, so next time by 110 laps to go in this event. This is round number 7 of the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship from the Darlington Raceway. And you look at the 03 of Charles Cosper in this replay getting through the wreck. There was a lot of close calls through that one, Nim.
Yeah, a lot of smoke everywhere. People trying to just make it through and not damage the car. A number of cars did get some heavy damage, though. Josh Berry had some heavy damage. Alex Warren has some heavy damage in that wreck. Yeah, a lot. It looks like maybe new driver. You know, not. You know, he may have started the wreck. So there's nothing against him or his fault or whatever. It's just tough coming off of Darlington turn number 2 here, Jason Karlovich. But you know, bunched up a lot of drivers going down the back straightaway, and a number of drivers got into him. I'm sure he didn't want to be a part of that, and that's not what you want to do in your first NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship race. But it looks like John Prather also having connection problems with servers. He just disconnected.
And we have a lot of drivers right now, Nim, that are 1 or more laps down that were contenders at the start of this event. Josh Berry being scored as 1 lap down. Karlovich, Nussbaum, Blackford, all 1 lap down. Hazard, 2 back. Thompson, 5 back. Gorlinski, 7 back. And it looks like these other drivers may be out of the race more than 25 laps down. Gilliland, Pope, Doucette, and Prather all over 27 laps behind the pace right now on lap number 74. Baldwin will complete 74 right here under caution.
Cyril Nussbaum was the wave around that time. Cyril races with us from France. I believe he is the only European driver racing with us in this race, but Florian Goddard, actually I'm just corrected, is also European, and so 2 cars from Europe racing with us here today. Remember, our first series championship, Tim, was from England. Who was that?
And that was Richard Towler, as he was qualified for this series this season, but taking a couple of races off in this season, and after the last couple of seasons, Richard Towler has given us some fantastic memories in the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. Hats off to our T. The lucky dog on this caution flag is Cyril Nussbaum, the French connection. Will get back on the lead lap, I do believe, here with that one. Indeed, he will. P31 for car number 99. That's the Mason Baker Designs Tim's Corner Motorsports number 99. Pace car lights will be off this time by, and we should be racing next time across the stripe.
And we'll get the green flag on the start of lap number 77 next time. So about 105 laps, 106 laps to go from here. Still a long way to go, not even halfway And these drivers got to remember that, as we got to just put in some time here, get some laps logged, and see if you can get to the end of the race. And that's the whole thing about Darlington, Tim, is you need to survive the track. You need to drive the track and survive to be there at the end. And you know, we say that at a lot of tracks, but here it's more critical than any place else we go.
So Patrick Baldwin will try to survive as the leader. Steve Sheehan, Alfala, Ottinger, McClellan. Top 5, Hall, King, Hudson, Conti, Daly. Top 10, Byron Daly making his way back up into the top 10 here this evening in car number 91. That's the gsracing.net Ben Lynch Racing, number 91. So looking to get a couple of more positions out of that car here, and he still has more than 100 laps to do. So pace car is in. Patrick Baldwin, Steve Sheehan going to lead this field back to green. 52 waiting to get on the loud pedal. He will right here. Green flag flies.
Everybody gets pretty decent start as Baldwin gets away from the field a little bit right there. Alfala and Ottinger are side by side, and McClellan still side by side. Ottinger tries to fight up on the top of the track. He has an advantage up there because that's where you keep your momentum.
The Ream Chevrolet Impala will go to position number 3 as Ray Alfala will fall back to position number 4. Carson McClellan is back there as well, fighting in position number 5 right now. Robert Hall going to smack the wall in the middle of 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's not unusual, though, as we've seen tonight. A lot of these drivers smack the wall, getting into the 3 and 4. The groove, a lot of grip up there in the top of 3, and that's what's causing some of these drivers to get in there a little hard and up into the wall a little bit.
Great save by the 39 of Michael Johnson. He's not saving this one. 39 is around in the straightaway, and I think he's on the apron. I don't think this will bring out a caution.
Yellow flag is out now.
And just back that car up just enough to get that caution flag that he needed. The Fast Track Sims number 39 will draw the caution flag on 78.
Yeah, it looks like he just got the back end around in corner number 1 and 2, and then when he tried to get back up on the track, he lost it down on the apron and spun the car around. No damage to the car, it looks like, but caused caution and probably got him a couple incident points there.
So Patrick Baldwin, after that great start, will be shown as the leader. Steve Sheehan in second, change for third now. Ottinger over Alfala, and Carson McClellan will complete your top 5. Let's take this opportunity to step away for just a few moments' time, and we'll bring you back to some more racing. Still over 100 laps to go here at Darlington. Don't go away.
Here comes Jeremy out. Is Richard trying to grab his first win. As a true NASCAR champion is Richard. Try to team up. Here's a winner. Number 7 of Richard Fowler. RT is $10,000 Richard.
Welcome back to iRacing Live and PSR TV. Darlington Raceway is the scene for round number 7 of the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship, and Patrick Baldwin is your leader. Steve Sheehan in second, Ray Alfalla, Nick Ottinger, Carson McClelland, your top 5. The last time by the stripe, as I believe we might be going back to green flag racing right here. I don't know if we've got the lucky dog or not. We have not, because the caution flag was just thrown, and Josh Berry will receive the I-Dog.
Two weeks from tonight, we'll be at Charlotte Motor Speedway, just off of the Sprint Cup 600-mile race. We'll have our race, which will be 300 miles, 200 laps around Charlotte Motor Speedway, and that will be 2 weeks from tonight, Tuesday night. On May 29th, Infinity Long will be the next road race for the Grand Prix Series, the iRacing.com Grand Prix Series. That will be held on the 26th.
And also, Nim, another big event, the iRacing World Tour. It's the Indy 500 coming back on May 26th, and that's a fantastic event put on every year. Thousands of iRacers go at it, and I know for a fact that there are some fantastic IndyCar racers. You see oval racers, and you see the Grand Prix Series with the Williams FW31. You see the Class A car here on the oval side. There are a die-hard group of IndyCar racers on this service as well. You will see them in action during that Indy 500. And of course, if you want to get involved in iRacing, you can race your own Indy 500 on here in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, well, there'll be thousands of drivers that want to race in the Indy 500, and all those drivers will qualify, and they'll be split into groups of about 33 cars, and everybody will be able to race in their own Indy 500.
Getting ready to go here. Patrick Baldwin and Steve Sheehan getting ready to see the green flag. 100 laps to go. Green flag flies again. Not a good start for that 52. It looks like he may have spun the tires just a little bit. 6 on the outside line. Going to fall back now to second place, but Steve Sheehan was keeping right up with the 52.
And Alfalla returned the favor on Ottinger as Alfalla used that high groove and the momentum. Now Sheehan looks to the inside of Baldwin going down turn 3.
Chris Overland, Florian Goddard, big hit on the back end too for the 47 of Chris Overland, as well as the front end shortened up on both ends for the GSRacing.net, Menards, Chevrolet. Caution flag is out, and a chain reaction wreck bringing out the caution flag here.
Yeah, they were going down the back straightaway, and it started up ahead of Overland a little bit with maybe Byron Daly and Kevin King. As those guys had to check up a little bit, that caused a reaction on going down the back, and that got Chris Main and Overland down to the inside wall.
Once we get done looking at some of the first replays of this wreck, we need to go on board with the 99 as Cyril Nussbaum went to the inside. That's where everything was happening. Usually, if something happens, it's usually on the racetrack. Cyril went to the apron, and he got through everything. And I'm not quite sure how he got through everything. But the 99, Mason Baker Designs, Tim's Corner Motorsports, Chevrolet, little dent on the door from a previous incident, but the 99 was lucky there.
Yeah, Florian just making it through right in front of Cyril there. Florian, he got clipped there a little bit.
So the 52 continues to be the leader. He'll have the opportunity to try that restart again. Steve Sheehan, Ray Alfalla, Nick Ottinger, and Robert Hall are your top 5. Carson McClelland, Michael Conti, Kevin King, Byron Daly, and Brian Schoenberg has now moved in to the top 10.
And back at 10th place there, Thomas Lewandowski runs in 11th. Hawk Shibo, after all his problems that he's had today. He's running in the 12th spot right now. Tyler Hudson, 13th. 14th is Brad Davies. 15th, Patrick Fogle. Josh Parker, 16th. Dylan Duvall, 17th. Landon Harrison, 18th. Michael J. Johnson, 19th. And Jake Sturgis rounds out your top 20.
Marcus Lindsay runs in position number 21. 22 is Brandon Buchberger. Charles Cosper, position number 23 at this point. Vinny Sansone, 24th. Cyril Nussbaum in 25th. Josh Connors in 26th. Chad Coleman, 27th. Josh Berry falls back to 29th. Chris Main up to 28th. And Florian Goddard completes your top 30.
Remember, before the start of this race, Brad Davies qualified in the 3rd position, but he had some connection issues, which dropped him from the race before the race even started. So he came in a little bit late and even started. He was a lap or two down, and he's made his way back to the lead lap and up to the 12th position right now. So maybe he's one of the guys we have to keep an eye on for the second half of this race, Tim.
Yeah, he's going to be one to watch. There's a couple of drivers there, one lap down, trying to fight for that iDog Award. Florian Goddard, one lap down. Brian Blackford, Andrew Fayash, the third. Alex Warren, they're all one lap down. Chris Overland, Thomas Hazard, 2 laps back. Justin Thompson, 5 laps back. That is in position number 36. Everybody else, by the looks of it, out of the race. Karlovich, Gorlinski, Gilliland, Pope, Doucette, and Prather complete your field here this evening. Patrick Baldwin is your leader out in front. We still have the pace car lights on, so it looks like we are at least 2 laps away from going back to green, as I don't think the iDog has been awarded for this caution flag.
Yeah, definitely a couple laps to go here under this caution flag right now as Brian Blackford receives the lucky dog, and he'll get a lap back here. We were talking about Patrick Baldwin leading this race. He's currently 14th in points. As we've seen earlier, if you win, you jump a lot of spots right now. Baldwin about 12 so points out of the top 10. If you can get a win in this race, that'll definitely get him up inside the top 12 solidly. And that's important because the top 12 positions are paid positions, and you definitely want to be in the top 12 by the end of the series. Remember, Tim, this series does pay $10,500 to win, and that's cash. And you also get a trip down to Homestead.
And I know Ray Alfala got that trip last year. Richard Towler, as we mentioned 2 years ago, got that trip. Ray Alfala looking to defend and get back to the stage at the Homestead Miami Speedway, but he has a lot of strong competition behind him, as you mentioned. Michael Conti, Brian Schoenberg right now. So far, the class of the field throughout this season, but of course, we still have a long way to go in this 2012 campaign.
This is the 4th restart we've had, or yellow flag we've had, where the caution flag has come out on the subsequential restart of the yellow flag. So see if these guys can get it together here on this next restart, lap number 89. Right now we'll get the green flag on lap number 90, and hopefully we'll have a good long green flag run to the end here, Tim.
Patrick Baldwin, Steve Sheehan side by side. On that last restart, it looked like Patrick Baldwin may have spun the tires or just didn't get going on that restart. Steve Sheehan was right with him and carried that momentum into corner number 1, where Baldwin got the advantage. Can Steve Sheehan possibly continue that and possibly take the lead away here, or do we possibly see Patrick Baldwin get the lead again and possibly run away with this thing?
Well, I think Sheehan's got it for him. I mean, the last 2 restarts we've seen, Sheehan's had the run, and that run's been thwarted by the caution flags that have come out. Sheehan definitely looks faster than the 52 car here. One thing we want to watch, too, Alfala was able to get that position on Ottinger. Now Ottinger's up on the outside line, and he may be able to take that spot from Alfala this time, so let's look at that battle, too.
Green flag flies, and Baldwin, great start for the 52. The 6 of Steve Sheehan will ride in a second for the time being. Alfala will come to position at number 3. Ottinger and Hall get single file for your top 5 as they all get single file in your top 7 down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Thomas Lewandowski having a little bit of trouble through corner number 1 and 2 there that time. Patrick, Paul Kashiba down his inside able to pick up that spot.
Thomas Lewandowski trying to hold off Paul Kashiba for that spot. The 11 of Brad Davies looks on from just behind them, as it looks like, I believe that's the 51 just back there, Patrick Fogel. Making up a spot, contact made, and they somehow save it. 55 of Brian Schoenberg was up in that wall.
Everybody gets going. Schoenberg's losing some momentum in some spots here. He's frustrated right now, trying to get, and he's up in the wall again.
Yeah, that car might be broke for the 55 of Brian Schoenberg, as he's going to lose a ton of positions here, as the crew is going to have to go to work on that next caution flag, because it looks like that car is off the pace.
Yeah, and that's going to be trouble for his championship as he's up in the fence again. He's trying.
Steve Sheehan to the inside of Patrick Baldwin. Here comes Alfala. Alfala going to pick up position number 2 here. Great move by Ray Alfala. Nick Ottinger tried to follow him through. Steve Sheehan says, nuh-uh. Here comes Ottinger now to the inside. Ottinger picks up position number 3.
This is what we talked about earlier. If you make a move and you don't make it happen, if you don't complete the move, you lose so much momentum that allows everybody behind you to get a run. And we saw that there, Alfala was able to stick his car up on the high side of 3 and 4 there, where all the grip is, and Alfala was able to take that spot from Sheehan, and Ottinger was able to get by also.
Jake Sturgis about to go one more lap down here, as he is just in front of the leaders. Patrick Baldwin leads Ray Alfala. Alfala closing in on the 52 for the lead at Darlington.
Lots of excitement up front right now. Alfala looking over the back of Patrick Baldwin right there. He's got a lot of momentum down the back straightaway, but not able to make the move this time. And Nick Ottinger closes in on that battle for the 3rd spot.
Position number 3 as he closes in. The 2 looking over the 52. Showed him the bumper to the inside. That time down the straightaway, as Patrick Baldwin is now under fire from the champ, Ray Alfala, looking to pick up the lead here.
Alfala gets a run down the back straightaway, looks to the inside. He doesn't think he's going to be able to make it happen, so he wants to stay up in that high racing groove right now. Remember, if he can make the pass happen, he doesn't want to try it because he'll lose those spots with the cars behind him.
Ray Alfala looking for the lead on the 52 of Patrick Baldwin, the Pro Geek Consulting. Number 2 and the butt kicker number 52 go at it. Looks like Alfala lost a little bit of time in 1 and 2.
Down the back straightaway, not able to make a run this time. Patrick Baldwin still holds on the lead.
Here we go down the straightaway. The 2 of Alfala sees the 52 into the wall, and here comes the 2 to the inside. Ray Alfala going to try to make quick work of the 52 of Patrick Baldwin. Not going to happen. Baldwin hit that wall that the 2 couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, the 2 car, Ray Alfala, he was able to get down to the inside there, but not enough grip down there to make the run. Now Ottinger, the 05, trying to make a bid for that 2nd spot.
Ottinger closing in on the 2 of Ray Alfala. 2 to the inside of the 52 of Patrick Baldwin. Maybe not by choice with that move there off corner number 2. He's going to fall back behind 52. 05 of Ottinger, we know him as being a fairly aggressive driver, Nim. Here comes the 05 of Ottinger looking on the 2.
Yeah, he's right there, and he's trying to... The problem is right for Alfala right now is the 05 wants Alfala to make that move so he can go up there and try to take that grip up there in the high line. And Alfala knows that, as we saw through 3 and 4 the last time. Alfala went up and took that groove. Now Alfala looks to the inside, going down corner number 3.
Here comes the 2 to the inside of the 52 of Patrick Baldwin. Trying to make that move going into the corner. It's not going to work there. 52 up off the corner. He will lead lap number 99.
They're coming up on lap traffic here. Lap traffic is definitely going to play a factor. We'll see if these drivers are able to make their way around Sturgis.
As Sturgis goes to the inside, here comes the 2 of Ray Alfala. Alfala will get it this time. Alfala to the lead. Here comes the 05 of Ottinger. Ottinger will take 2nd, so Patrick Baldwin, one little slip up is going to cost him 2 spots.
Baldwin got into the wall coming off corner number 2 there pretty hard, and that may have caused some damage to the car. Now he's got Steven Sheehan looking to the inside as they go down the corner number 1.
Ray Alfala to the lead, and Nick Ottinger to second. Baldwin back to third. Sheehan and Hall complete your top 5. And in the picture as well is Michael Conti and Kevin King. So your top 7 are running nose to tail right now as we work lap 101.
Steve Sheehan's all over the back of Patrick Baldwin right now, as Ottinger's all over the back of Ray Alfala. Also, the 6 car hasn't been able to make a run happen or make the move happen, as he's tried to pass Baldwin now 3 or 4 times we've seen, but he's just not able to get the job done.
As the 52 and 6 battle, it closes in the 30 as the 6 to the outside line. 52 bobbles on the inside line. Here comes the 30 of Robert Hall as well. Robert Hall going to make the pass on the 52. Now the 5 of Mike Conti trying to make a move on Pat Baldwin.
Yeah, the 52 I think finally had enough there. He let a couple of those cars go as he was just tired of the pressure from behind, and he just wants to find a place to run. But that allows Sheehan to get by and Robert Hall to get by. Both those cars looking very quick right now.
Looks like Nick Ottinger starting to close in on the leader, Ray Alfala, as the 05 might have something for the 2 on this long run, as Kevin King and Mike Conti now looking at the 52 of Pat Baldwin.
Here we're looking off of the roof cam of Nick Ottinger up front. Ray Alfala right there. Ray stretching out just by about 4 or 5 car lengths right now. Some lap cars up ahead.
Looks like the lap cars up in front. Chris Main, Florian Goddard included in those as we go down into corner number 1.
Patrick Baldwin lost a couple more spots. He lets around Kevin King and Michael Conti, so Baldwin drops back into the 7th position as he's still struggling with that car. Remember, Tim, he had some pretty heavy contact off corner number 2 and maybe possibly did some toe damage to that car.
Alfala slicing through these lap cars and making it look easy. 3 wide as the 3rd place car there, Steve Sheehan, nearly got collected.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. Blackford's trying to stay out of the way down the inside there, but it's hard to run on the apron. It's slippery down there and it's flat, and you can just wash up in front of the banking, which he did a good job keeping it down there, though.
29 got into the wall there in the corner as he closes in now on Robert Hall and the number 30, Kevin King, working his way to the front of this field. He runs in the top 5.
King very strong early in the season. We haven't seen him so much in the last couple races, but he's making his presence known here at Darlington. Robert Hall having a great run today. We've seen Robert have some good runs this season so far. Right now up into the 4th position for Robert. Robert's currently 6th in points, and so he's done well all season long, maybe quietly, but he's had a good season so far.
And looking to pick up a couple of spots here before this race is over. Kevin King, Mike Conti just behind him, trying to make a couple of spots up. Of course, Michael Conti looking for the points championship this season. Ottinger flirted with the wall off corner number 2 that last time by. The gap between he and Ray Alfala the last time, 0.6 of a second.
Yeah, Ray stretching it out just a little bit more that time. And then it's quite a bit back to Steve Sheehan. Steve Sheehan was 1.3 seconds behind the leader that time. Still 1.3 seconds to the leader on that lap. So Sheehan running just as fast as Alfala, but he's got to get up there and get around Ottinger to make a challenge.
Josh Berry goes 1 lap down to the field in position number 26 as Kevin King continues to chase down the 30 of Robert Hall. Looked like he had a little bit of momentum in him, could have made that move into that corner there, but did not do so. The 5 of Mike Conti follows behind him as well. We work lap number 110 of 183.
Dylan Duvall had some trouble there just a couple laps ago. He lost about 10 spots and still losing some positions. Maybe he got up in the wall or something like that. We'll have to check on it, but he lost a bunch of positions there in the last couple laps.
Battle for 5th continues to heat up as Kevin King now trying to hold off the 5 of Mike Conti as it looks like Robert Hall has stepped it up just a little bit in these last couple of laps as Hall tries to pull away from King.
King's right there, though, and Conti's right there with him. So looks like Hall is holding up King right now just a little bit, but he's able to make a little bit of a stretch going down the front straightaway. But Conti's right there on King. So King's, and we got a yellow flag.
Caution flag will fly on lap 112, and it's the 42 of Dylan Duval bringing out the caution flag, and it looks like heavy damage to the GSRacing.net Chevrolet, and it looks like he had some contact with the 98 of Justin Thompson.
Yeah, the 42 car has been struggling, and he was struggling coming off corner number 2 right there, and that's a tough place to be when you got some cars coming around a lot faster.
And you see the replay of that incident there between the 42 and the number 98 cars. Tough break for those two drivers, and Justin Thompson, I believe, is already 5 laps down at this point. Alfala is your leader, and we anticipate possibly some pit stops here on lap 113. Next time by, 70 laps to go.
So 112 laps in the book out of 183. Ray Alfala out front, Tim. Ray's been strong. Maybe she had got something for him. You think anybody else out there does?
I'm not sure if anybody does. We'll have to see if we get a long run or a short run. Obviously, Patrick Baldwin's good on a short run, and Steve Sheehan's good on a short run. We saw that 2 weeks ago at Richmond. It's just a matter of where everybody shakes out after this pit stop. Of course, I believe there should be one more, too, at the end of this event. So this might not be the last time we see these drivers on pit road. Alfala leads the field down, and he pulls into his box.
The great thing about Darlington is that anything can happen at any time. And, the incidents and just the traffic and the track itself. Nobody's safe right now. And Alfala's running out front, but he was running out front 2 weeks ago at Richmond. And he got himself in trouble there as Nick Ottinger has a great pit stop, and Alfala is having slow pit stops all day long, but Ottinger out in front of Alfala there on that pit round.
Looking at the replay, though, Nim, I don't think it was the pit stop that was the problem. I think it was Ray trying to get into gear, and he lost it off pit road on just trying to get off pit road. Ottinger is going to win this race off pit road. Alfala going to come off in position number 2.
One thing it may be is that Alfala may be trying to not heat up the tires. Remember, we talked about how heating the tires is something that the drivers are trying to prevent. And Ottinger is just willing to spin the tires coming out of the pit box there, and Ray might be just taking care of his tires a little bit more.
We have Chris Overland on the horn, involved in one of the most recent caution flags. Chris, what happened?
Well, I was honestly... That was probably my fault for not paying too much attention there. I was more focused on the cars behind me, almost bump drafted me in the center of the corner, and I came off and saw Kevin get loose up there, and I didn't really have time to check up for Chris, and when I hit him, the car just hooked straight left, and it was the end of the day for me. But car was really, really good. I actually thought I had a shot at getting the top 10, maybe top 5 tonight.
Still out there, 19 laps down. It just shows how important these points are in the grand scheme of things, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's 47 Menards Chevy or GS Racing Menards Chevy is actually pretty broke, but you got to keep your head up in these kind of things. You can't get in a bad rhythm and start getting upset about it, because it's just going to go downhill from there. As far as I'm concerned, I can still get all 19 laps back, and I can still win this race. So just got to keep my head up, and not get disappointed, because this will happen.
Chris Nimcross here. We see everybody having a little bit of trouble out there, but we know that drivers enjoy this track a lot. How much fun is it out there?
Actually, when I came into this race, I actually didn't really think that I was going to have a very good shot at, running around this track. I don't really like this place, but when this race started, I started having so much fun. It was actually really nice to race side by side with people, and just the way you have to drive the cars promotes great racing, and I've had so much fun tonight. I didn't come in here thinking that it was going to be this fun. I was very surprised.
You mentioned that new sponsor you signed a couple of weeks ago. I know you were excited for that, and I know you have a bunch of other sponsors on that race car. Chris, who makes it happen for you each week?
I'll get ready for a novel. GSRacing.net, Scott Granberg, he's the man. JDR Graphics, Menards, TMDVP, Fast Track, Tim's Corner Motorsports. I bet you know that guy pretty well. Just everybody who's involved in this 47 car, it just makes my day. Flipside Motorsports, Michael Conti made a great setup for this week, and I can't thank him enough. Spotter Josh Gerald is another one. And most of all, iRacing for putting this on. I would not be here if it wasn't for them.
And now you're racing Brian Schoenberg on the same lap. You're going for P35. Keep that in mind.
Yep, Mark's run.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Yep, have fun, guys.
That's Chris Overland, driver of the number 47, running in position number 36 right now. And Nim, tough break for him after being involved in an early caution.
Yeah, there's so much that goes on out here, though, that's part of it and what happens. But, you know, like he said, it's a lot of fun. And he'll be there at Charlotte in 2 weeks, and he'll be ready for the 300 there in Memorial Day weekend.
So we will double them up once again. 1:17 is being worked on the board right now. Ottinger, Alfala, Sheehan, Hall, and King are your top 5. Michael Conti, Tyler Hudson, Pat Fogel, Paul Kashiba, Josh Parker, top 10. 23 creeping back up into the picture.
You know, Patrick Baldwin is quite a ways back, 14th position right now. So on that pit stop, he probably had a lot of damage to fix from hitting the wall back there. And your leader on the last restart is back in the 14th position right now, and a lot of positions to make up.
The first Racing Ford Mustang pace car pulls off the racetrack here. Nick Ottinger and Ray Alfala side by side. And they will see the green flag right here. Ottinger puts the hammer down, and we are back underway. Alfala trying to defend position number 2, just behind him. Still side by side for 3rd.
Robert Hall is going to try to take advantage of that high line momentum, but Steve Sheehan will have none of it. Sheehan slots into the 3rd position.
Here comes the 30 back on the 6. Robert Hall looking at position number 3 on the 6 of Steve Sheehan. He has a handful in this Bioptic Chevrolet.
Yeah, and you saw there, Robert Hall saw that he wasn't going to be able to make the pass, so he backed out to get back up in that high line so Kevin King wouldn't be able to make a move.
Here comes the 5 of Mike Conti on the number 29 at Kevin King. He falls back into line behind the number 29 as these drivers jockey for position. They know they're coming down to the end of this race. It's time to start making those moves to position yourself for a shot at winning this race.
Yeah, right behind Conte right now are a couple of names we haven't called yet so far. Tyler Hudson's right there. The 32, who had a lot of trouble early on, is up into a good spot now.
Down the front straightaway into corner number 1 we go as Ottinger continues to lead Ray Alfala. Looks like Brad Davies may have picked up a spot about mid-pack there to move him up to position number 14. Drivers starting to pick off those spots to get to the front.
The 52 car made his way back up to the 12th spot from his 14th position on the restart. Now Alfala looking down the inside, going down corner number 1. Alfala to the inside, Ottinger to the outside. Alfala will take that spot.
The champ back to the lead. Ray Alfala in the 2 passes Nick Ottinger in the 05 to take the top spot back on lap 1:21. Steve Sheehan now rides in 3rd, and he has a front row seat to the battle in front of him.
Sheehan trying to chase down this pair. Sheehan always looks to the inside as he goes down the straightaway there. It's kind of his natural line going down each straightaway. The 05 car about 5 or 6 car lengths up ahead of him now, but Sheehan will be chasing them down soon.
122 being worked on the board as the 2 and the 05 continue to go at it for the lead position. Just a couple of car lengths behind is Steve Sheehan in the 6, Robert Hall in 4th, and Kevin King in 5th. Conti putting pressure on the number 29 at P5.
Cyril Nussbaum just had a moment back in the back, and he actually made a little yell over the radio. It's kind of funny. Maybe a little bit more funny because he's French and he had the accent on the yell.
That might be it as Paul Kashiba looks at the 01 of Tyler Hudson as they battle for position number 7.
Looks like Justin Thompson then lost it on the back straightaway.
We are still green flag racing at this point as the 2 and the 05 run down the back straightaway. The 6 of Steve Sheehan continues to run in position number 3 and keeping pace with your top 3. So a couple of drivers at the back starting to pick off some positions there. Nim very close to getting to that point where you have to really start going. Tyler Hudson looked like the back end nearly got away from him coming off of corner number 2 as he runs by himself right now in position number 7.
Yeah, Hudson's struggling all day, but he's doing a pretty good job there. Car's beat up just a little bit, but he's working up there in the 7th spot, and through everything and all the struggles he's had, he's up in that 7th position, so that's pretty good as we have Patrick Baldwin now trying to make his move by Patrick Fogel through corner number 1 and 2.
51 of Patrick Fogel looking over the 51 of Patrick Baldwin as they go at it for position at number 9. Just behind them, Davies into the wall. 46 of Carson McClellan got up into him as they battled hard for position number 11.
That's what's so fun about this track is it's just so narrow. You're bouncing off the wall. You're doing things here that you just don't do all year long at any other track. And it's fun. You don't want to. Obviously you don't want to be hitting the wall and scraping, and it can be frustrating at times. But it's just a lot of fun to be doing out there.
And it looks like McClellan will pull away from this battle, and as I say that, he scrapes the wall in corner number 3. The 11 of Brad Davies closes in, and after something like that happens, Nim, I know Brad not as much, because we usually see the calmer side of Brad Davies, but maybe some other drivers might see a little bit of red when you see another driver put yourself on the wall.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Brad is definitely one of the calm, cool guys out there, and he's just... He might be bouncing off the wall there, just the thinks that's part of the groove or faster groove, and he gets up close to it, and he's not damaging too much as now he makes a bid on Carson McClellan down the front straightaway.
Davies goes back to the spot. McClellan will fall back 1 to position at number 12 as they go at it for position. Looking up near the front, looks like Kevin King is getting busy once again. He has the 5 right behind him, and Michael Conti just in front of him, the 30 of Robert Hall. That is 5th, 6th, and 7th as they go at it off corner number 4.
These guys is all doing a great job today. The cars look pretty clean, although they all have a Darlington stripe. The car's looking really clean, and they're just a little bit off the pace of Sheehan and Afala and Ottinger right now, but they're doing well to be up there in the top 5, top 6.
They continue to go at it as Cyril Nussbaum, I believe he might have just had another moment there in the number 99 as he came back over the radio once again as he continues to have a handful. And that number 99, he's battling back there with Jake Sturgis and Chad Cole.
Yeah, Cyril currently running in the 21st position on the lead lap, having a good run out there. Very exciting run, I guess, for him, but he's doing okay.
Resetting the top 3, Alfala is starting to inch away from Ottinger, but Steve Sheehan is reeling in Ottinger for position number 2. Robert Hall runs in 4th, Kevin King in position number 5, and Michael Conti just behind them in position number 6.
Back in 7th, they have Tyler Hudson. 8th, Paul Kashiba, who had a lot of trouble early on. Patrick Baldwin led a lot of this race. He's up in the 9th spot again after his 14th position on that last restart. Patrick Fogel, for the first time tonight, cracks the top 10.
Brad Davies back there in position number 11, continuing to soldier on as he is closed in to Patrick Fogel, and he has a run on the number 51, but just no place to put it. Brad Davies storming to the front of this field, but he's got to get past that number 51 first.
Yeah, Fogel's car pretty wide there, coming off of corner number 2 last time. Done nothing wrong, and he's doing a good job holding the line right there. It's so hard to pass on this track, one groove, and the high line seems to be the preferred groove right now. Now the 11 goes down to corner number 3, up on the outside lane again. He's going to get a little bit better run, try to dip down the bottom, try to gain momentum off of corner number 4. And this time it does look like he has some momentum, and will make that bid down the front straightaway.
11 car underneath the number 51. He will take that spot as the Ray Alfala machine is closing in on some lap traffic, and the 05 is there, as is the 6. Andrew Fayash III will close in your top 3.
And the 05 car of Nick Ottinger looking to make his way around Fayash. You got to be careful. Fayash has already lost it a couple of times today, as Ottinger has a little bit of connection issue. He's able to bring it back on the line here, and he looks okay now, but a little bit of connection in there, issue it there for the 05 car.
'05 continues to hold on to position number 2, but the 6 of Steve Sheehan reeling him in. Alfala has started to pull away once again as you ride on board with the Spy Optic Chevrolet of Steve Sheehan.
Down in the corner number 1, you got to be real tight down on the inside, and your car just washes up the track, but you got to keep it up there. You actually give it throttle through the middle of 1 and 2, and then you let off to get your car to go back down to the bottom of corner number 2, and then you get to run down the back straightaway. But it's a very, very unique corner to drive here in the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship.
1:36 completed here as Sheehan goes after Ottinger once again for position number 2. Robert Hall runs nearly a second and a half behind this battle in position number 4, and he has his hands completely full once again with Kevin King and Mike Conti. Here comes Sheehan once again to the inside, looking at Ottinger, but can't get anything done.
Ottinger stretching a little bit out on Sheehan right now, about 5 car lengths. So maybe Sheehan, maybe getting a little bit of that wall too much. Maybe he's just trying to cool his tires a little bit to make another run at Ottinger. But right now, Ottinger pulling away a little bit.
'77 of Andrew Fayash III having issues still up into the wall, and he almost comes down in front of traffic. 23 of Josh Parker is around in the back, and he hits the wall off corner number 2. Caution flag will fly.
It looks like Josh was coming around corner number 2 there, and as he got back into the gas, or he tried to cut it down, maybe he had some problems with the rear end of that car, but he lost it and had some heavy contact as he comes across with the inside car, and that will probably be the end of his evening.
Tough break for Parker after being up in the top 5 at the start of this race. Had that black flag, rebounded for a top 10 run, and nearly had that thing saved, as it does not. Gets into the wall, caution flag flies, and here comes Ray Alfala and the rest of the field on the pit road.
10th yellow flag of the evening as Alfala, Ottinger, and Sheehan make their way down pit road with the rest of the field. And we'll see this time after they get their pit service if Ottinger's willing to spin those tires to make it to the lead again, or if Alfala will do so.
Alfala on the last pit stop. Keep in mind that he had an issue coming off of pit road and he lost the lead to Nick Ottinger. We'll see if he can rectify that here with what could very well be the final stop of the evening with 44 laps to go in the event. Ray Alfala getting service on the number 2 Pro Geek Consulting Chevrolet Impala. Does he win the race off pit road? Little bit better off pit road this time. Yes, he will, and I believe Steve Sheehan may have got second.
Yeah, Steve Sheehan definitely got second coming off of pit road that time. That'll put him up in the outside lane and give him a chance to go up there and battle with Ray. Sheehan's been very good all night long, and now he'll be able to take it to Ray.
Let's take this opportunity to step away for just a few moments' time, and we will bring you back to the finish of round number 7 of the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. Don't go away. Welcome back to the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship round number 7 from the Darlington Raceway. We'll see if we can't get Brian Schoenberg on the horn here. Brian, having a tough race so far. 18 laps now, what happened?
Hey Tim, what's happening, bud? Well, we were going along there and Chris Main or someone, they wrecked out of turn 2 like 2 or 3 cars and we had it missing everything, and Lewandowski and I were side by side. And then I guess the 32 of Paul Kushiba just threw it in 3 wide on their yellow, and I guess crowd of Lewandowski or something. And so anyway, Tom tapped me and we hit the wall very, very, very slightly, and it completely broke the car. Like when you went through the corner on the restart, just went da 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 da. Anyway, about to go green here, but just thanks to decent loafing and Mike Main, Kushiba just ruined our day. Sucks. Drop week. Oh well.
We are going back to green. We'll get Schoenberg on another caution as well. As we get ready to go back to green, it's Alfala and Sheehan side by side. Alfala puts the hammer down and we are back underway.
Sheehan's a little bit slow on the start there as Alfala took off pretty early. Robert Hall up on the outside. He's going to try to take advantage up there, but he'll let the Ottinger car of the 05 get back up in the high groove there.
77 car back on track on the apron, limping around, trying to get some extra points as the 29 and 01 go side by side. They get it back to single file as the 5 car of Michael Conti as well, trying to fend off the 52 of Pat Baldwin.
Yeah, everybody trying to get sorted out, get single file, get up into that high, sticky, fast racing groove. And some cars still, Michael J. Johnson back there in the back, still fighting down the inside lane, but he's starting to get up there.
Looks like Ray Alfala will receive the bonus point for leading the most laps here this evening, so the champ picking up 1 more point towards the championship, and he is setting sail right now in front of this field. Steve Sheehan in second, and he has a little bit of a gap now between himself and Ottinger. Ottinger has Robert Hall just behind him.
Yeah, and Michael Conte, currently your second place guy in points right now, right behind him, having a good run. But he needs to get up there and he needs to challenge Ray Alfala. And right now, Alfala's having none of it as he stretches his lead out over Steve Sheehan by about 6 car lengths, and then it's another 6 or 7 back to Ottinger.
Lap 145 completed here for the leader as Robert Hall and Michael Conti, as we mentioned there, battled for that position number 4. Patrick Baldwin, Kevin King back there as well, and Tyler Hudson trying to get a top 5 run, currently running in position number 8.
Everybody's single file working their way through. It's pretty late in the race, and we usually do see a lot of aggressive driving late in the race, but that's something the series is trying to curtail just a little bit by assigning incident points after every incident, and we saw a bunch of them a couple of weeks ago at Richmond, and that's got a couple of drivers sitting out this week. So a lot of these drivers, the whole goal of that whole system is to get these drivers to drive a little bit more sensible at the end of the race here, and maybe it's having the effect it wanted, Tim.
You look back there from Patrick Baldwin, looking back at the likes of Kevin King and the 01 of Tyler Hudson as we continue to work here on lap number 148 of 183. Top 3 getting separated from the rest of the field, and most of these drivers in the top 20 right now, Nim, running single file and not wanting any piece of the action right now, trying to get the extra 40 laps here done and out of the way, and this race will be in the books.
Yeah, it's been a long race now. They've been at it for about 2 hours, and you know, this track takes a lot out of you. And you know, you might not be in a physical car, and they might not be feeling the G-forces as the Sprint Cup drivers do, or the nationwide drivers. But to concentrate on something for hours without break is very, very difficult. And you might say, well, they get caution flags, but they're still adjusting on their car, and they're going pit stops, and they're always thinking. And to be totally focused on anything for hours on end without a break is just very, very exhausting in itself.
And these drivers have been in the race cars for 1 hour, 47 minutes, or been at their desk or at their cockpit for 1 hour and 47 minutes. That doesn't include pace laps, the 10-minute practice before qualifying. So these guys have really been at it for at least 2 hours at this point. and probably a little bit more practicing prior to the race. There's a lot of practice that goes into these races for a lot of these teams. Some of these teams spend upwards of 8 to 10 hours a week practicing for the upcoming race.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It takes a heavy commitment to be in this series, and a lot of the drivers, like I said, thousands of drivers trying to make it into this series. So that's why it takes so much commitment to try to compete.
Everybody just logging laps at this point, waiting for something to happen. Ray Alfalla, Steve Sheehan, Nick Ottinger, a little bit of separation once again between them, and it looks like Robert Hall trying to break away a little bit from Mike Conti, but it looks like they're reeling in Nick Ottinger right now in the 05, so Ottinger might have some company here in a couple of laps.
Yeah, the 05 Robert Hall is pretty strong. Conti's right there with them. They're not able to get up there and make a challenge on Ottinger yet, but they may be soon.
Watching around the 01, 46, and 51 cars, that's Hudson, McClellan, and Fogel. Fogel had a great run 2 weeks ago. Richmond trying to follow it up here with a top 10 run as he looks under the 46 for position number 11.
Looks like Hudson's getting a little bit of trouble, and he's losing some spots down on the inside there, as he may have had a little bit of trouble coming off corner number 2. He's going to fall back maybe about 7 or 8 positions.
So Carson McClellan moves up in the top 10. Patrick Fogel in 11th place now. Michael J. Johnson, great run so far in position number 12 after having a spin earlier in this event. As drivers continue to jockey for position and start to move to the front of the field, we start to see the cream rise to the top.
.30 laps to go to last time by, so they're down to it. Alfalla out front. Sheehan is sticking right there, 0.6 of a second behind your leader of Ray Alfalla. And don't forget, everybody, try to get that those free accounts, 3-month memberships by tweeting. And if you don't get that, please visit iRacing.com, and you can get buy 1 month and get 2 more for free, so 3 total months for the price of 1.
And if you want to get that $25 gift card, you want to hashtag Darlington NiSWC in order to get that $25. And the best tweet picked by one of the staffers here at PSR TV and iRacing Live will receive that, as Patrick Fogel goes underneath Paul Kashiba. Kashiba going to lose 1. Patrick Fogel going to pick up 1 position. Here comes 32 back underneath the number 51. They are going at it for position number 9.
Yeah, 32 cars on the inside. Very impressive that Paul had so much trouble early on. He finally, after pit stops and everything, got that thing dialed in. Oh, and they hit each other, and that puts Fogel up into the fence a little bit. So hard to keep that inside car down at the bottom of corner number 1. And again, Fogel up into the fence as he tries to stay on the outside of Byron Daly going off corner number 2.
And he's in the groove trying to get that thing going. Vinny Sansone gets into the wall in the number 80, and the 80 is Sansone. What a tough break for the 80 as he was running near the front of this field. He's going to have to come down for damage repair on pit road.
Looks like Fogel has finally got that thing back underway. But a lot of heavy damage to that car, as some lap traffic now working their way by him as Fogel up into the fence again.
.38 and 15 make their way past Patrick Fogel's race car, the damaged race car now of the number 51. So move Josh Connors up to position number 21 right now. So the Sea Giraffe working his way up to the front.
Steve Sheehan is closing in on your leader, Ray Alfalla. Right now, 0.4 of a second back. It was 0.6 just a few laps ago. But right now, Steve Sheehan, it looks to be about 7 or 8 car lengths behind your leader, has gained about 0.2 and even gained a 10th there on that last lap. 0.366 back to your leader, from your leader, Ray Alfalla.
So Steve Sheehan looking to go back-to-back in this series and pick up another win. He is 23 laps away from doing it and 1 position away from doing it as well. He has to pass the 2 of Ray Alfala. You ride on the roof of the Spy Optic Chevrolet Impala of Steve Sheehan.
As you come off of corner number 2 right there, it's a very tricky corner, as we've been telling you all night. And as you've seen with all the number of incidents, and down into 3, right up against the wall, even scraping and maybe just there a little bit. But that last time by, Ray Alfala must have heard us, because he's stretched out that lead by .476, and now this time by .667. So Ray must have heard us, and he's back on the gas, stretching out that lead again.
Ottinger back in 3rd, Robert Hall in 4th, Mike Conti in 5th, and in 6th it is Patrick Baldwin. Not a whole lot of pressure between those drivers. Kevin King in 7th as well. Brad Davies in 8th, Carson McClellan in 9th, and Paul Kashiba in 10th. And the top 9 really don't have any pressure amongst each other right now for position. But look back at that number 32. Paul Kashiba has the 39 breathing down his neck. Oh, Kashiba in the wall. 39 sweeps to the inside, as does 91.
Yeah, we see that over and over. Somebody gets up in the wall and they lose a bunch of spots. Kashiba's not in a good spot right now, and the car is a little bit loose, maybe a little bit damaged from getting in the wall that time by. Now he's getting some pressure from, it looks like the 89 car right behind him, of Landon Harrison.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the Viper all night long, but Landon Harrison is now moving up and positioned himself in the back of Paul Kashiba's car in position number 13. So Landon Harrison moving up, as is Charles Cosper. Cyril Nussbaum is here as well in the number 99 in position number 15, and Thomas Lewandowski, 16, is in 16th place right now, all behind the 32.
Yeah, the French connection up there in the top 15 now, doing a great job tonight.
And they will come up on lap traffic. That's the 33 of Ryan Blackford. This could get interesting here. Charles Cosper looking underneath the 89, 99 now to the outside. That's the battle behind the lap car of Brian Blackford. 32 and 89 going to get past. Uh-oh, this is going to get close. 99 gets underneath, as does the 03 of Charles Cosper. Oh boy, that shakes things up a little bit.
Yeah, it's so tough just to even get by some lap traffic here. And Blackford, it wants to let him by too, but there's just hardly any room, and you can take some space up there. But these guys made their way around. But it's so exciting and tricky to do so. But that's what makes this track so much fun.
Lap 1 is 66 is being worked on the board for the leaders. Ray Alfala, Steve Sheehan, Nick Ottinger. Your top 3. Ottinger has some company, though. The 30 of Robert Hall is there for 3rd.
Yeah, Robert looks to the inside on Ottinger going down the front straightaway. Moves back up behind him, and he's not going to make a challenge this time, but he is right there challenging Ottinger for that 3rd position.
Oh, Ottinger, big wiggle out of corner number 2. The 30 is there, but can't seem to pounce on it. The 5 of Michael Conti is there as well, looking to make up a couple of spots as he runs 2nd in the standings, with Schoenberg having that tough luck in this event. Conti looking to continue to be in 2nd place, but the guy he's chasing is out in front leading this race. It's hard to gain points when Ray Alfala is racking up those points for leading the most laps and possibly winning here tonight.
Looks like Ray Alfala had some trouble with some lap traffic there coming off corner number 2. As they were coming off corner number 2, it looked like maybe the 77 car of Andrew Fash washed up on the track in front of the leaders. Ray was right there and all over it, though, and he saw it coming, and he was able to back out. Steve Sheehan not able to make a bid, though.
It's closed in. Sheehan, though, to the back bumper of Ray Alfala. This could very well be a turning point in this race. Steve Sheehan looking to the inside. Ray Alfala is there to defend that position just behind them. Ottinger trying to defend that position from Robert Hall. If this race goes green the rest of the way, Nim, and Steve Sheehan can keep with Ray Alfala, that could very well be a turning point.
Yeah, the Steve Sheehan's the only car that I think that might have anything for Alfala. And now he's calling him. He's going to have to make a move. And lap traffic is what could do it. As we saw right there, Alfala had some trouble with some lap traffic, and lap traffic is a big factor at this track, maybe more than any other track we go to.
This time by 13 laps to go for Alfala and Sheehan. Sheehan continues to work on the 2, trying to go back-to-back in this series and collect his 5th career win in the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. The guy that leads in the win column, I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Nim, is the guy sitting right in front of him right now, Ray Alfala.
Yeah, Alfala has definitely won his fair share of races and his championship. As we have Nick Ottinger bounced off the wall in corner number 3.
The 30 of Robert Hall trying to pick up the pieces of the 05 and trying to take that position away, but nothing doing at this point. Michael Conti is there, and it's closing in Pat Baldwin as well, so it looks like Ottinger may be holding up the number 30 of Robert Hall, is closing in that number 52 of Patrick Baldwin, 30 flashing the nose underneath.
Yeah, the 30 car is right there working over Ottinger right now, but he's got Conte right behind him. Remember, Conte is second in points right now, 2 points behind your leader, Ray Alfala, in the series standings. And Conte wants to make sure he brings her home with a good top 5 finish, so he remains a part of that point championship. And you got to think, Tim, coming out here with a top 5, no matter where Ray finishes, is got to be a victory of some sort, so you can get out of here with a good finish.
Had an issue in the back there and in between the 32 and the 16. It looked like the 16 of Thomas Lewandowski brushed up the racetrack a couple of laps ago on lap 171. Got Kashiba in the wall. Kashiba came back and put him nearly firewall deep into the turn 2 wall on the next lap. So we're going to take a look at that in just a few moments' time. But Paul Kashiba is sitting on pit road right now. That car is smoking, and I'm sure the driver inside is pretty steamy as well.
Yeah, some definite tempers flaring there just a little bit, but Kashiba's car will be done for the day.
Steve Sheehan continues to work on Ray Alfala. We are less than 10 laps to go in this race, so if you have anything left on the table, best be showing it now. Steve Sheehan in the Spy Optics Chevrolet closing in on the 2.
Looks like we got a battle for third position right there. The 30 making a move on the 05 car, not able to get it done right now. Conte right there. The 52 car of Patrick Baldwin is now making a challenge on Conte also. So battle for third heating up.
The 30 and the 5 going at it as well. Behind the 05, 52 is there as well. If something happens between these 4 drivers, then you could very well have a couple of positions changing hands here in the closing laps of this race.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Definitely coming down inside 10 laps to go now. Inside almost, 5 laps to go from next time by. So we're down to it, and these guys trying to get position, but they don't want to ruin a good race. You know, going for one spot could cost you a lot if you don't do it right.
Looks like the 30 may have been thinking about showing the bumper to the 05. He had a great run in the middle of the corner, did Robert Hall, but just nowhere to put it on the 05 of Nick Ottinger. Out in front, Alfala and Sheehan, 0.4 of a second between them. The closest battle on the racetrack is this one here for position number 3.
The 52 car got a little bit of problem down the front straightaway there last time. Bounced off the wall there pretty good, and that's cost him some time. But remember, we talked about earlier, if you make a move, you got to make sure you get past the guy you're trying to make a move on, because if you don't, the guy behind you is going to take over that position, and that's what Robert Hall is thinking right now. If he wants to make a move on the 05 Ottinger's car, he's got to make sure he completes the pass, or the 5 car Michael Conte is going to take that position from him.
Paul Kashiba has been disqualified from this event. The 30 of Robert Hall closing in on Ottinger, looking to make a move. It looks like Patrick Baldwin has fallen off the pace of these drivers battling for position number 3, so it looks like it's a 3-horse race now for position number 3. 30 flashing the nose in the 05.
Yeah, it looks like Kashiba may have been caught there for maybe some retaliation. We don't know. We'll have to figure that out, but retaliation's not allowed, and could cost him a few races.
30 continues to look on the 05. This is the closest battle on the racetrack for position. The 5 of Michael Conti, should something happen to the 2 in front of him, it would be huge for him to get a couple of more positions. Down the front straightaway this time by 3 to go.
Hall looks to the inside, but not able to make anything happen that time. up on the outside now. Ottinger holding him up just a little bit. Robert Hall definitely quicker, but he's got Conte right behind him too. Conte looked to the inside, going down the corner number 3.
5 on the inside of the number 30 for position at number 4. Robert Hall looking at the 05 for position at number 3. This is going to come down to the wire, this time by 2 laps to go.
2 laps to go. Ray Alfala out front by half a second. Behind Ray is this battle for third by about 4 seconds. And right now, Ottinger has it. Robert Hall wants it, and Conte's right there.
Coming to the white flag this time by Ray Alfala, Steve Sheehan. They're going to come up on some lap traffic. Josh Connors pulls down. There's the white flag right there. 1 more lap to go for Alfala and Sheehan. 0.3 of a second between the top 2 drivers. Ottinger trying to hold on for dear life in position number 3. Robert Hall, Mike Conti. They run behind in 4th and 5th. They might have 1 more shot in corners 3 and 4. Working through the final couple of corners, Ray Alfala comes up at a corner number 4, and the Pro Geek Consulting Chevrolet goes to victory lane at Darlington. Ray Alfala wins round number 7. Steve Sheehan comes home in 2nd. Ottinger going to hold on for 3rd. Robert Hall 4th, and Michael Conti completes your top 5.
Yeah, and I think that's the first time for a long time we've had actually a good finish, a good long green flag run to the finish. So the guys did a great job tonight on a very difficult track. It's a couple tempers flared tonight, Tim, but I think it was a great race.
Definitely a good show put on by these drivers, and it wouldn't be a stock car race without a little bit of tempers flaring. It wouldn't be Darlington without a couple of tempers flaring. We've seen that in the big show as well on last Saturday evening. Alfala going to loop it around here on the front straightaway and burn it down for the fans in the stands here at Darlington. Race fans, don't go away. We are going to set up for the post-race show where we will talk to your top 5 finishers from round at number 7 of the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship. Don't go away. Welcome back to the NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship round number 7 from the Darlington Raceway. Your winner this evening is car number 2. That's Ray Alfala, the Pro Geek Consulting Chevrolet in victory lane, and Nim Cross has caught up with the champ, Ray Alfala.
Down here with Ray Alfala, your Darlington winner, last season's champion, and the point leader for this series. Ray, you are racking them up and putting them down.
Woo! Oh man, that feels great. I always wanted to win at Darlington. Practiced a lot this week, got the car to where I liked it, and man, that was exciting at the end there. This speechless.
Well, you fell back there a little bit on restarts, pit stops, and things like that, and you had to make your way back through. Tell us about what got you back to the lead.
Yeah, my crew was not doing work at all. First pit stop of the race, they lost me the lead, and then got stuck on the outside. Went back to fourth with a bunch of restarts. Then was able to pass Patrick for the lead when he was getting tight off turn 2. Then pit crew again lost me the lead under yellow, and somehow was able to pass Nick back. And finally, the last time they didn't have a very good pit stop, but I guess Nick's crew had a worse stop. And then I couldn't believe we went green all the way. That was awesome, but it was just dodging bullets. Everybody had damaged race cars, and they were way off the pace, and it's just so hard to get out of the way here. Andrew Fayash, off turn 2, that was ridiculous. I know he had damage, but you have to, if you're that far off the pace, you just have to move out of the way before that. But good thing that didn't cost me the win. That was exciting.
Ray, I'm going to throw a stat at you right now. This is your 7th NASCAR iRacing.com Series World Championship victory, which takes over the series lead for wins overall in this series in the last 2.5 years. How big is that?
That feels great. I never thought I'd be in this position 2 years ago when I kept wrecking at the end of every race, but I finally learned that in order to win races and win a championship, you have to not crash. What a novel concept that is, right? But that's cool. Matched last year's win total and looking for more.
Ray, tell us about what you're thinking for the Charlotte 300 here in 2 weeks, Memorial Day weekend, and then tell us who makes it happen for you.
Yeah, very excited for Charlotte. Longest race of the season. This race might be just as long just because of the yellows, but the 2 longest races back to back. Really looking forward to it. I used to not like Charlotte very much, but last year I sort of got used to it and started liking it a bit. Ran well last year, didn't win. Looking forward to it. I got to thank ProGeek Consulting, JDR Graphics, Junior Motorsports, and thank you to Dumpy D, John Gorlinski. He provided a really good setup this week, so thank you to him. Thank you guys, PSR TV. You guys provide great broadcasts, and thank iRacing.
Well, ready to go, Ray. Ray, the 7th series win for Ray Alfala, and on his way, if nobody else can step up, on his way to his 2nd series championship. We're going to throw it over to Tim Terry, who has your 2nd place finisher, Steve Sheehan.
Steve Sheehan coming home in 2nd. Had some lap traffic there at the end, make it interesting.
Yeah, I almost had him a couple times. I was overheating pretty bad there at the end, and I kept having to back off a little bit or kind of peek my nose out, and I was hoping that lap traffic would hold him up and maybe I can shoot by him. And I had one good shot in turn 3, but he saw me coming. He put the block on like he should have, and did all I could.
I mentioned midway through the race, we talked last week on Tim's Corner Unplugged about you being a streaky driver. 2nd place after a win. It's looking good so far. Going to move you up into the points. Where does that put you for a mindset for 2 weeks at Charlotte?
I feel excellent. I felt really good tonight. I really had a top 5 car. I had to make some changes. I had to take some wedge out to loosen my car up. The more I did it, the more I actually bottomed out in the left front, and I was about a top 5 car, so it felt awesome. A lot of these tracks coming up are all intermediate tracks. The chassis is about the same, so the general feel of the car will be the same, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think I really like the way these cars drive, and obviously Ray does too. And he's he's the man right now.
And it looks like 7th place in the point standings right now for Steve Sheehan and the 6 team. Before we let you go this evening, who makes it happen for Steve Sheehan?
I, as always, got to thank JRM, Spy Optic, you guys, I hope you guys are enjoying the Hot Laps segment. I do have to thank Brian Blackford in the Hot Laps segment, and all the work he does this past week for Darlington came out really, really excellent. They will be good enough to get on NASCAR.com, mark my words. And JDR, JD Laird for painting the scheme, and, you know, again, you guys.
That's Steve Sheehan coming home in position number 2 and a very hard-earned position number 2 for the number 6 car. Let's go down to Nim Cross, who has caught up with third-place finisher Nick Ottinger.
Nick Ottinger, third place tonight at Darlington, right in the thick of it all night long. Great battle there at the end. Tell us about your race.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Ray on his third win of the season, so we'll have to gain some ground in the next couple of weeks on him. But we ran a really good race. Qualified near the front once again. I want to thank the guys for getting a good qualifying setup under me for tonight. For the race, I know me and Steve were talking earlier. I was actually real tight at the beginning of the first half of the race, and Skip Witt was my crew chief for tonight, and he made some really good adjustments for me and got it pretty neutral to where I can actually not get too free right off the corner because I was having a little snap in the car. But overall, the racing tonight was really fun. There was a lot of give and take on restarts, which was kind of surprising at times, but the racing was just a blast tonight.
Well, this will definitely help your series standings as you're already in the top 5, and this will probably move you up maybe into the top 3. We'll see how that sorts out, but what's your championship look like as you go forward in this season, and then tell us who makes it happen for you.
I don't know. It's too early to tell, to be honest. I mean, I like to, of course, win the championship, but it's just too early to tell right now. There's a lot of stuff that can happen from here on out. But I want to thank the guys at Gale Force Racing, Joel Putty, Mark Carpenter, Matt Holden, Brandon A. Jones. I mean, just everyone at Gale Force Racing for getting the setup dialed in the last few weeks for here. And I want to thank Green. Got to thank Gale Force Suspension and AP Designs, and I want to thank you guys for putting this on for us as well, broadcasting this. And once again, I want to congratulate Ray on his win. He deserved it.
Nick Ottinger brings her home in third. We're going to send it over to Tim Terry, who's caught up with Robert Hall.
Robert Hall comes home this evening in position number 4. Robert, you had Nick Ottinger in front of you coming down to the checkered flag. Did you think you could have got a move on him to take that third place position?
Yeah, I mean, I probably could have been a little more aggressive, but I just didn't want to force anything there to get that one extra spot. Didn't want to force a mistake or anything. We screwed both of our races up, so I just kind of took it kind of cautious and finished up the race.
Darlington Raceway, Nim mentioned it a little bit earlier on. Just a blast to drive, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun testing here all week. It's one of the best tracks on the service, I think. And I was just glad we finished under green there. I think that's the first time all season, and sucks we had a few extra cautions there, but it was a pretty good race and it was a lot of fun.
Unofficially right now, 5th place in the point standings, just 6 points between yourself and Brian Schoenberg for position number 3. How big is that going forward here in the summer stretch?
It's huge, honestly. I can't believe I'm so far up in points. I mean, we've been putting out pretty solid race cars every week. To be 5th in points and have a couple of top 5s now, I didn't expect, but it's nice. Ray, he's going to probably keep checking out, but hopefully hold on to the top 5. 5th point position would be pretty nice.
Little run of intermediate tracks coming up. We start with Charlotte in 2 weeks. What are the chances for the Sim Chassis Chevrolet there?
Well, I hope they're good. Like I said, Ray and Steve and them, they're going to be tough like they always are, but hopefully we can kind of hang with them like we did, tonight. We were pretty close tonight, I think, but hopefully just another top 10, we'll be all right.
Before we let you go this evening, who makes it happen for Robert Hall?
Just want to thank everybody at Sim Chassis, Pat Baldwin, Carson, Kevin King, and I want to thank y'all for putting on the broadcast and iRacing putting on the series.
Robert Hall comes home in position at number 4 here this evening at Darlington. We kick it over to Nim Cross, who has caught up with our second-place point man, Mike Conti.
Michael Conte still retains that second-place point standings lead, although Ray was able to stretch it out a little bit tonight. You got to be satisfied with that good top 5 run here at Darlington.
Yeah, top 5 at Darlington with the car, brought home in one piece, no incidents, no problems, no one mad at me. That's a good night. We had a really good car tonight. The setup was dialed in really well. Had a bunch of help this week, so I can't thank those guys enough. But it was just a great night. Had good pit stops all the way through until that one time I slid through a little bit, went back to 11th, and the car was so good I could just pick my way up through there real quick again. Got back to where I was, so that was good, and I just kind of hung in there. Watched a pretty fun battle with Ottinger and Hall and Fold there. Had Baldwin behind me, so that was cool. So overall, it was a great night for me. Alfaro did stretch the point lead, but I'm just happy to be kind of hanging in there with him.
Well, you had a great run tonight, and we congratulate you for that. Tell us about the Charlotte 300 coming up here on Memorial Day weekend, and what do you think your chances are there?
I think the Inside Sim Racing RC Chevy, we're gonna be good there. I mean, I think we've got a good base 1.5 mile package. I think I have a good starting point there, so it's just going to be about fine-tuning, trying to keep the tires on the car with this latest build that iRacing put out. It's very important to not heat up the right rear or the right front especially. I was able to not do that tonight, which kept me up there, but Charlotte's a big wide track. There's going to be a lot of side-by-side racing. The second groove works there pretty well from what I remember, so it's going to be a good race. Hopefully I can just qualify up front again and bring her home in one piece and maybe cut into Alfalo's point lead a little bit.
Yeah, some people forget that this is your first season in the NASCAR iRace.com Series World Championship, the first full season that is, and to be second in points right now, you got to be pretty proud of that. Tell us who makes it happen for you, and tell us your thoughts about your position right now.
Well, I mean, I can't thank Inside Sim Racing, RC, DCS Computers, CB Photography, the Bethwood, JDR Graphics, everyone that's helped me out, in the past, and whoever's going to help me out in the future. Can't thank them enough. And like I said, I'm happy with second in points. It's a good position to be in right now, and I hope I can hold that and keep moving forward in the season.
That's your 5th place finisher, Michael Conte, and we'll throw it back up to Tim.
Final thoughts before we leave Darlington here, Nim. Always exciting when we come to Darlington. 2 weeks' time, we head to Charlotte. That should be another great race.
There's a lot of action at Darlington. There were some wrecks. There's a couple of heated tempers, things like that. But the track is fun. The racing is very unique to what we see all year. We had a fun race. We had a great run to the finish there. A lot of good, exciting racing. And we're headed to Charlotte in 2 weeks. That will definitely offer the same thing. I'm looking forward to that.
That's going to be exciting. You'll want to be here for that. I don't have the Twitter winner in front of me. We will confirm that on Twitter. I just want to get a confirmation from Ian Bushing before I do that we'll get the winner on Twitter for the $25 iRacing gift card. And Darlington NiSWC was the hashtag for that. We will get to Twitter on that at some point here in a few moments' time. Until 2 weeks' time when we say let's go racing again, for Tim Terry, Nim Cross, Ian Bushing, Ilka Hapola, Matt Racing Kid Thomas, Chuck Johnson, Zach Stanko, anybody else that I missed, my name is Tim Terry saying we will see you in 2 weeks' time when we say let's go racing. From the Charlotte Motor Speedway, keep the hammer down and we'll see you at the track.